start the opening movie. After Lancelot's being over. Oh, it was not almost over. Sup. Okay, we are live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Training Mode Network. If you are new to the Training Mode Network, we are a beginner and intermediate focused fighting game community. We run tournaments nearly every night of the week and community events on Saturdays. Speaking of community events, our community event this Saturday is our Hakuto no Ken tournament. I had a lot of the Plus R players are really into this game right now, and they really wanted me to run a tournament for it, so I am. It's that crazy game with the basketball combos where you get more juggle potential the more you hit someone, as opposed to the less, which is usually how it is in most games. Anyway, that's going to be this Saturday, 1/6 at 12 p.m. PST, 2 p.m. CST, 3 p.m. EST. Let me get the sign-up link for that. So other than that, we are going to have an O2 bracket tonight for this tournament. So anyone that goes O2 in this tournament, go to the O2 tournament channel in the server and talk to Zerchi about how to join that. The stream, I just put the exclamation point O2 and you can go visit the stream for that. It'll start about an hour after this one. Other than that, we've got 66 people in the bracket tonight. This is the biggest TMN tournament ever. I'm going to try to get it running as swiftly as possible. First, new games for me are always a little bit rough, but I've obviously run this game in most of its glory before, so hopefully we can have a smooth bracket tonight. So I forgot to say this, but graduates are allowed to enter, but we didn't have any graduates enter tonight from Vanilla Grand Blue. We didn't have any graduates enter tonight, so it's not an issue. It is random seating tonight, just because I don't know, 70% of the people in the bracket, and I don't know their skill at this game. So it is random seeding tonight. But first up on stream, we got Red Mage Susie, who we know and love. Oh my god, she's on Siegfried. I hate her. Why? Girl rocking the Sieg? And then we got Nanute, who is a friend of mine. He is, I think, on Seox. Someone pinged me. But I am joined on commentary tonight by Callisto and Rose. Good evening, y'all.
What's good, everyone?
Yeah, Susie's not going to be the first. There's going to be a lot of, surprise Facebook posts where you find out that your uncle was actually a 6 player the whole time or something. Like, there's going to be a lot of that in this game. The roster is not the same, and you were going to learn some things about some people you thought you knew when they get a hold of Nier.
Callisto, you're not spectating the Cav.
Oh, it says I am.
Oh, okay. Oh. Well, then.
Yeah, I feel on that Callisto big time. It's so wild, like, going into Rising, right? Because, as many know, you and I were both people who completed it and played vanilla for a very long time. And it's always interesting to not only see the new characters that people gravitate towards, but how people feel about their previous characters. So
yeah, when you see feels them, a lot less like a brand new game and more like an alternate universe kind of, right? Like, a lot of stuff's the same and a lot of stuff is really different. Precisely.
But I'm very looking forward to this match. It's always nice to see fresh new faces enter TMN, as well as returning folks. Shout out to Susie. She's done a huge amount for this community, so it's always really nice to show love for the people who have helped.
I never finished her video. I do intend to finish it, but she was one of our community champions, because I think she did
Thinking about finishing stuff, Nanute on this side already with the level 500 prismatic weapons. That's how you know someone's been either playing a lot of games or, like me, they have a turbo button controller, but that's a whole different story. We got the Daikon, looks like the carrot in this lighting on Susie's side, so some flashy weapons all around.
Indeed, indeed. So this is going to be a very fun matchup play out.
Yeah, especially because we're just watching it and not having to fight either of these characters. Both of these characters are very strong so far. In a lot of ways, Siegfried could almost be considered, 6 playstyle with Percy's moveset. Very long-range character for the most part, but has a lot of specials that are relatively safe and pretty strong, and you just kind of throw them out. And 6 has kind of always been like that. They left him actually not Omega different in terms of how he plays, but his rewards for playing the way he did are now very strong. He's still kind of the same. His mix-up is not the best mix-up. He has to work pretty hard to open you up. He does not have to work hard at all to put himself in a position to open you up. You can see there, right? The
Most definitely.
Dive. Yeah, not even getting into the ultimate skills. Susie just caught trying to run up either a grab or a jab there, but either way lost to the super. Raw supers, though, not a ton of damage in this game.
Nanute doing a really great job with 6. The big thing about this character is he's really great at playing this aggressive mid-range control that you see Nanute displaying, where it becomes hard for you to just deny the character his options without having to commit to a more preemptive or proactive playstyle. So
yeah, and you can't be passive against him. For the most part with 6, it's like, if he decides it's time to play RPS, it's time to play RPS. You can definitely win that RPS against him and punish him for it, but he still gets to determine when it's happening.
Exactly. And as you can see here, Nanu is trying his best to make Susie play checkers.
Yeah.
Nice read on the parry, though.
Susie kind of doing the right thing in that, eventually you have to challenge. Sometimes if you're blessed with a natural DP, the Shotos still have them, Siegfried has them. If you have a, invuln non-ult reversal, still very important in this game. At some point, you're going to have to make a choice to get out of pressure. You're going to have to challenge, and that's a very intentional design. They didn't want you to be able to sit around defensively this time. So Nanute with good offense going up 1-0 here.
Alright, so let's see how Susie manages to try to get out the corner. Nice Brave counter out.
Very strong defensive mechanic, the Brave counter, but it absolutely has to be. With how strong offense in this game is, anyone who thinks they're upset when they get Brave countered out of something, trust me, if it wasn't there, you would find many of these characters to be much more nightmares than they are.
Absolutely.
And I will, like, you know, hopefully they're going to calm it down. I don't want them to make it less strong up front. And I'd say the same for 6-6Ls, actually. I don't want Dash Ls to be less strong up front. Oh, chip is an issue. There's no overdrive in this game. So Susie's going to have to play very clean from this point on. Kind of fortunate that there's not a normal BP on 6's side, but there's the super there. Yeah.
That's the big thing about supers in this game. Nanu did a really great job of capitalizing on that, because they're very threatening when your opponent has low BP.
Yeah, especially, again, like we mentioned, there's no overdrive, so there's no chip avoidal. Once you're down to 1 HP, you have to worry about chip. So for characters with invuln reversals, that's really scary, right? They can just run up and DP you, and you need to be correct on it. I really like Nanute had the meter and just sort of played it the same way. Waited for Susie to get close and let it rip. Has the corner again. Using the regular fireballs. They're still pretty strong.
Nice read!
Yeah.
Susie's making some really strong adaptations here.
Clash on the anti-air. Still going to be able to get a little bit of pressure out of that situation. Nanute, though, back in the driver's seat on offense. Going to push to the corner here. I don't think... Oh, yeah, misses the link. Susie gets to live again. Nice back throw into the corner. That's a big positioning switch, but another wake-up super. And I think that's going to be enough. Oh, just shy, yeah. So a really big change in this game is raw supers. SSBAs may be a little bit different, but raw SBAs don't do a ton of damage. A lot of times you'll actually get more damage mid-screen by doing like a dump all your BP into like, you know, 5H RSRC loops and utilizing the new mechanics. It's actually surprising because in Vanilla Granblue mid-screen for most characters, if you got like a big punish opportunity, just doing 5H into super was usually max damage.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
not
actually
kind of
jarring. It's very interesting because I do feel that Susie definitely is a very competent player in Vanilla Granblue and played that set pretty well. I think that it's just tricky getting accustomed to a new character, and it can be a bit difficult to deal with Six's options. For instance, the largest thing that I think was giving Susie a tough time is I think it's very important with your character to know your options versus 6's 28H, which is his EX wall dive, as well as knowing that his Rekka RPS in this game is honestly way worse. You really can just 6XL on block after his non-EX Rekka, and it will beat so many of his Rekka options. So...
yeah, and even if he's not, if he doesn't immediately backstep and parry off the heavy one, you're not going to get a punish.
Version, so let's head to the lobby.
Sure, gotcha. Which one?
Let's go to NA1 if it's open. If it's not, we'll go to NA2.
It helps a lot to go to one that's like super uncrowded, like maybe like
okay,
NA9
we'll go to NA.
I end up
I don't know how many
farming
are there.
colors in the Japanese lobbies all the time. Did you? Which one did you say? 2 or 4?
Let's go to like 6.
6?
Yeah, let's go NA6.
In there. Coming through like a procession here. We need the Dragon Quest 11 like the dancing parade thing going on, like just down.
So true.
Oh my god, my FPS in this
Who can fly the
so
furthest?
bad.
Who can fly the furthest? Oh, I hit my thing late.
Wait, I can get there first. Oh, I don't know the button to go to the map.
In there.
Never mind.
Yeah. My hang glider too clean.
You've spent a lot of time in these lobbies, to be fair.
I don't know who we're spectating though, so now I have to fall back.
Yeah, let me see. Let's just go out here.
Wait, shit. Wait, where are my hitbox?
Too late. Roses in the crane game.
Alright, hold on.
The lobby's pretty sick. I think it's a little large, so it can be weird if you just want like casual games. But I do think the novelty of it is not terrible. It's actually pretty fun. The arcade is cool. The crane game is cool. I like the jukebox too. You can set it to random music and have it like play a different song every time you come in and whatnot.
Yeah, it's super sick.
Okay, they're coming. Why is Spectre here?
Spectre,
What are you doing here, bro? You're not even in the tournament.
Yo, shouts to Spectre.
Bro, the Percy army? The Percy
This is like an actual pools match, like just 8 people gathered around the table.
Okay, how do I spectate? I've never spectated here before.
You just click on one of the players instead of on the cabinet.
Oh, okay. Let me... Proton is one of the players. The other one is named Mr. Cunt Servant. Grim usually has stupid names, so
Oh, that's Grim Flash.
yeah, that's Grim. Grim Flowers. He actually just recently graduated TMN BBCF. There he is. He plays Bubs in this game.
Oh,
yeah.
Really cool.
How do I watch it? It won't let me watch. What do I press? I'm on keyboard. Okay.
Keyboard.
okay.
I think is J.
I'm pretty sure they didn't start yet, but I'm set to
Okay.
spectate.
J is jump. K is interact.
It should be the same button as jump. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you press it again, and it should say spectating on standby.
Oh, I see it. Okay. It won't let me. Interesting.
This is a like
Let me go
Xenoblade ass song. I don't even remember the song that I have on right now. Do not remember from Grand Blue.
Huh.
Okay, I think I'm locked in.
Oh, whoops.
It won't
How
let me
far, Proton?
watch.
I don't
they
think
said they started
I think
yet?
they have to like.
Yeah, I think they
Oh,
both have
okay.
to be. I think they both have to go first.
Why does this game have... It has mouse controls in the lobby? Okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's really weird. The mouse
Alright,
controls
there.
are very weird.
I
Okay.
hit spectate. Alright, there we go.
Oh, enter to spectate. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
mouse
think
controls are
Rose and I
really
are-
cursed, yeah? Okay.
We can we can radio spectate.
Alright, we have Bubs versus Gran. I wonder what you think about these two characters currently in Callisto.
I think Bubs, first of all, I think is incredibly strong. The huge thing is not specific to Bubs, but most characters got at least one of their recast timers reduced from 8 seconds to 7 seconds, a lot of them being on like the back special. So for Bubs, his dive kick timer is now shorter after spending H dive kick. So by the time you like spend an H dive kick to get in with plus frames, do a block string into heavy fireball, and then, you know, do another block string after with those plus frames, your dive kick is back up and you can sort of just loop that process and play in a very kind of old vanilla Grand Blue 6 and Charlotta style of just kind of spending your timers as they're up really effectively. Gran, on the other hand, I think Gran is significantly better than he was at the end of 2.85.
Precisely.
Primarily, his combos just work a little bit better. Ult Boot really kind of fills the function that Rush did for him, which was very important to him, being able to combo consistently off of his Far 5M. So I actually think he's in a really good shape. This is a game that's built a lot around up close pressure and big damage cash outs. And, you know, with the plus on block 2M, that is something Gran can do. I know while we're talking about match, players we're not in just yet. Right now, Bubs is up pretty healthily, landing in SBA. It's about an 80% to about a 10% lead, but SSBA through the meaty fireball is going to put some damage on there. No animation for Froton, though. Still
For
trying
sure.
to make it work. Blocks the DP,
nice
doesn't
bait
have the
by
punish,
Froton.
though. Yeah, but the DP timer is gone, so he can go in a little bit more aggressively for a moment. Blocks a heavy boot. And we're back a little bit to neutral in the Grand Blue zone. Proton still trying to find the big hit. Doing a good job dodging the fireballs.
Nice
Gets
punish.
a punish on a block 6-6M with a sweep for the hard knockdown. Still building up some resources, but 5M into the spin is going to close out the game one there.
Indeed. I actually think that Proton was playing that pretty well. They're able to capitalize on the openings that they were getting with Gran, but it's kind of tricky because Bubs is a character. He's still good at walling out a lot of characters, so if you don't have
Did
that
Mr.
comfort of dealing with the
Cunt
character,
win?
it's kind of tough.
Did the
Yeah,
Bubs win?
Yes, yeah, it's 1-0. And it looks like the stream can now see the match, so we're in there good. And yeah, what you mentioned, he can just sort of be a fortress with these fireballs. He has one of the better fireballs in the game. And not just because of the quality of it smashing other fireballs in the plus frames, it's the variation of things he can do. It's hard to get used to one type of fireball because he can do different versions, different charge amounts, different ranges. Also, really importantly, if you're down at lower health against Bubs, you have to spot dodge his charged, medium, and heavy fireballs. If you do not dodge them, if you block them, he just gets a free ult karma. Just 2-2-U,
Indeed.
block string into the unblockable, and that's like a 3,000 damage. Oh, nice call out with
Nice
the SBA here,
SBA.
yeah, gonna get some damage on there.
So some backstory on Froton. Froton originally started playing in our, usually makes top 8 in our plus R tournaments. He plays Kai, but he's been, his controller's been broken for a long time, like 6 months. And so this is his first tournament back.
Oh, wow, that's so nice.
You don't see it super often, but definitely a thing that can happen. Raging Strike can anti-air sometimes, and it launches them up hella high. It's actually, it launches them up so high that compared to using it in a combo normally, it's actually a really awkward confirm. It's like catching a pop fly, right? Like the camera goes with them up off the screen, and you have to sort of position yourself correctly.
Yeah, precisely.
Nice space in on the boot. That was plus frames. Finds the sweep. Keeping the pressure easy with the fireball there.
All right. Buzz players doing a great job of trying their best to hold on to this life lead. But I think Froton has been showing some really strong offensive adaptations.
Yeah, not a lot of burst damage, but making correct decisions. And honestly, for the most part, like, this is a high damage game. You do sort of, you know, always eventually want your big combos. But if you're making more correct decisions than incorrect ones, you don't have to worry about your combos. Yeah, so that was actually out of range. That's a very steady grab. Got the punish, and now chip is an issue. Froton really just needs to find any path, and this will probably do it. Good evasion there. But yeah, all he has to do is kind of run up and DP, and this round's over.
Nice
teleport though. Yeah, but
great
unfortunately, yeah, didn't get the cancel. I think they were looking for the heavy spin and had spent the timer on the dive kick there. That's why we didn't see it cancel all the auto combo.
Precisely.
All right, so 1-1. Anyone set right now? Yeah,
right.
And that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, you can change the timing just a little bit on when you let it go to change when you have to dodge and roll.
Super good at just slowing the pace down precisely.
Yeah,
Okay,
making
nice
you
to
hold
you.
still so he can dive kick at you pretty much. It's kind of a you know, very complimentary tool set, which is kind of funny that Beelzebub was known as a character who originally was just like a collection of random tools that did not work together at all. And now he's come together as this super strong character with specials that complement each other really well.
Extremely so. Okay, so Froton sitting on SBA. Wow, great unisonic
great
there.
Height. Yeah, relatively low to the ground. That's definitely how you want to use the dive kick on Beelzebub. You want to get it as low to the ground as you can. Use it to jump over normals and fireballs like that without being at the top of your height to be predictable. Oh, wasn't ready for the second rep of the DPs. Those always come out on block for Grand and Jita. All right, Froton has the corner, and actually, even though he's been taking what feels like a few more hits, he does have the life lead here. In for good shape.
For sure. All right, so Froton might actually be able to close this out. Oh, wow,
that's a big counter hit, though. Yeah, gonna get the corner here. Finds a hit. Went with the regular version, so didn't have to launch into the combo, but this should do it. Nice and easy. Yeah, I like that. Just an auto combo into Raging Strike. Didn't, you know, worry about one button into super or anything. When you don't need a max damage combo to kill, just do the easiest combo. I do think that's actually one of the things I am really enjoying about this game, actually, and with the way you can use Raging Strike and corner combos and Raging Strike, Raging Chain to extend mid-screen. I do think it's really intuitive to kind of just like wing a combo on the fly in this game. If you get an awkward hit and you don't know what your timers are,
it's so good at just stabilizing things.
Yeah, you can use Raging Strike just sort of as like a pause to look at your timers and figure out like what do you have available. Yeah, using the ult DP there. Gonna get the hard knockdown. Has meter for another one if they need it.
Alright, health totals are about even here. This is looking pretty close for either of them. This is kind of scary.
Yeah, I do want to point out, ult DP, for characters that have normal DPs, a lot of times you do still want to use the ult one. It is the only one you can't safe jab for the most part. You will still can, but most characters can't safe jab against ult DPs. They give hard knockdowns. They don't refund meter, but they're more likely to work. And the heavy DPs actually had the timer nerfed pretty universally. They have a 10-second timer now, which is forever in the middle of a match.
That's very true.
The ult DP is actually a very short timer. It's closer to 4 to 5 seconds. Oh, trying to roll through, gonna get caught there, and yeah, auto combo to super. That I think is gonna close it, and it does. 2-1.
That was very well played by Froton. That was also really well played by Grim.
Yeah, Grim gonna close it out, move on in winners. That was a winner side match though, so Froton not out of the bracket just yet.
So the main things that I would suggest to Proton when it comes to that set overall is Bubs, I think, is a pretty tricky character to get accustomed to how you want to fight against him. In the case of Gran, it's important to note that It's important to note that his fireballs are threatening, but they're on the slower side, so you have more luxury to not just counterpoke him, but consider contesting his fireballs with your own fireballs. But it can be kind of hard with Gran.
Yeah, you know, I'm honestly not sure how Gran's medium fireball works against the medium and heavy Bubs fireballs either. Like, you know, how many of the projectiles does that? You know, that little upward swipe that nullifies projectiles? Like,
Exactly.
I haven't seen that interact a lot, but if Bubs throws a single fireball, you can pretty reliably do, like, especially with, you know, easy input, not messing up the timer now, just do skill plus M, and it'll nullify the projectile with the upward swipe and then send one back, and that can be very strong for Gran. Also, just 214L. I think with the 2.85 buff that he got, it is extremely hard to make Gran 214L punishable. Like, you have to really... Something had to go wrong rather than you misspacing it in neutral. 214U, which you actually saw Proton using a lot. That sweep for Gran, not 214U, I'm sorry, 2U. Gran's sweep into 214L is actually a true block string that's safe on block if you're doing it from roughly the tip of the sweep. Like, it's very easy to make it safe. And I think that can be very strong as a way to just kind of harass people into holding still as Gran. You know, threaten with that sweep into 214L. If it doesn't hit, whatever. If it does, you get some corner carry. And once you get them holding still, that's when Gran really gets to play, when he gets to use those 2Ms in the block string for pressure, running up with like the 2L, 5L staggers.
Precisely.
The 5M. And it really opens his game up a lot.
I think it's very important with Gran in particular too, because at those spacings where if he can threaten with 6XL, his 5M, and his 2U to kind of effectively box out opponents, it becomes more difficult for them to feel comfortable with just playing a zoning game plan. I did see Froton committing to jumps versus Bubs, which it isn't a bad idea, mind you, of course, to try to jump and punish a fireball, especially if intent, it's a good idea. But it can be kind of difficult versus Bubs because not only does his fireball hit so high up, B, his anti-airs are really strong. So
yeah,
it can be kind
I would
of
say
hard
in a tournament match, usually you want to like jump once to check, right? And you can say that for most risky things in the game, right? Do it once. If they show they have the anti-airs, then don't do it again. But if they don't, you know, you want to take the path of least resistance a lot of the time. The most important rule you can learn in any fighting game, regardless of what your experience level is if something is working, you don't stop doing it until they show they can shut it down. And that is a universal law in fighting games. And if what I'm seeing is correctly, are we going to have a cat mirror? We went from Charlotta mirrors to cat mirrors. Maybe this game isn't so bad.
Yeah, let's go!
The cat
I honestly
mirrors are
really
crazy.
like playing Cat in Rising. Cat in this game, I actually wanted to talk to you about her. I think she's really fun to play.
I think that she is still playing Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, if I'm being real. Catalina is... She's never going to be super bad because she has a very well-rounded toolkit, and I do want to point out that she does absurd damage in this game. She's very viable, but I think specifically because she does like actual jokes damage. But that said, the range that used to be Catalina's range is now entirely dominated by 6XL. She has a very, very hard time. For the most part, not only that, but her ults... all of them, first of all, she only has 3 kind of normal Shoto stuff that when you only have 3 special moves, you only have 3 ults. And that means you can't really get into a situation where you can use one as a refund ender for a hard knockdown. Generally, her timers are gone. And her ults are strictly combo tools for the most part. They're not neutral skip tools. Her fireball actually gets counter hit out pretty easily. She's just... It's not specific to Cat. I think Basaraga, Percival have a similar issue. They're Grand Blue Fantasy Versus characters, not Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising characters just yet.
Exactly.
But, you know, it's a new game. You know, we're probably looking at a patch by the end of February. Like, anything can happen with the character. I think that her base is totally fine. She's just a bit more work than a lot of characters right now.
As you can see, Rally and Namebrand are doing a really good job of running a standard, very effective Catalina game plan. In this game, I think that she has to focus a lot harder on reading her opponent's habits and tendencies after 60-7 or other options, because it's kind of difficult otherwise. She doesn't really have like many other tools that the opponent has to respect.
Like anyone who watched here regularly knew that I always preach a very patient style on this character. Wait for them to do something punishable and then smoke them for it. You can't be that passive in this game. You have to be more active. You have to call out some 6-6Ls with your 5L, with your 2M. And you do need to develop some of your own offense right here. And right now, it looks like Generic Name Brand is actually running the offense pretty well. Nice tech on the throw, though. Rally's starting to work out of the corner. And that right there, what you just saw, that's the biggest difference. If Catalina had you in the corner before, you do not move forward like that in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. You couldn't do that. But now 6-6Ls are a way for you to just turn the situation. Oh, wow, who would do that? Wake up, sleep in the super?
They heard you were commentating. Let's go.
It's actually technically better in this game because shimmy is so prevalent, especially for Catalina. I do think, you know, when I was giving you my laundry list of what's wrong with Catalina, one thing I actually did not bring up, she does not have a very good option for baiting throws. Her backwalk speed is too slow to shimmy. Her 2L is not very good at like kind of catching the mash. That right there, what you did just see out of Rally though, the 6-6H, the most Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising tool they gave her is definitely the 6-6H. Unless you space it totally wrong, it's generally always safe. It gives a combo on counter hit. In the corner, it leads to some really, really fat damage.
That's so sick. Yeah, I definitely should use I should definitely use her 6-6H a lot more when I play her.
Yeah, you want to stand back. How I was mentioning, like in this situation, right? This would be optimal cat spacing in the old game. Just right under the timer, and you're looking for a whiff punish, you're looking for a forward movement. In this game, you want to stand back a little bit further. What I like to use as my kind of like reference point is when you have the corner, the little line that separates the two segments of the SBA meter, I try to have Catalina's head right under those. And that is a spacing where 6-6H is only -1, so it can space trap really well. Nice whip punish there.
Yeah, that was extremely sick.
It's also out of 6-6L range, which I think is really important. They can't just 6-6L out of the corner for plus frames. Caught the safe job. Wasn't ready for the combo, but still good positioning here from Rally.
Wow, Rally's doing such a great job of boxing Name Brand in. I think this is something that's really hard to do with Catalina in this game too, so it's very impressive.
And that right there from Rally, that was really important. They didn't just stand back. Generic Name Brand tried to 6-6L to, you know, get the pressure situation reversed there. Rally actually took it to them and just beat them to the punch and counter hit them with their own 6-6L.
Alright, Name Brand doing their best to fight out the corner. Nice outright for corner carry. Oh, unfortunate. Maybe went for close H. Just got thrown out of it. Alright, nice 6-6L.
Yeah, that looked like a 6-6H that was coming out, but again, really good decisions on sort of like when to revive in with the pressure. That right there. So those kind of max range 2M, 5M into Fireball, that's actually something Catalina specifically can shut down really well. She can just tap Light Wall and armor through it and punish it.
Oh, that's pretty tricky, huh? It's really nice to see that both these cat players, not only are they very comfortable with her game plan, they're showing a lot of promise of not just how they structure their pressure, but how they check each other and contest each other in neutral. Because she does have to play this more proactive and aggressive game plan. That's why, like, if you played a lot of vanilla and you're seeing this footage of this matchup and it looks very scrambly, it's just how she has to play this game.
Not only that, but if you had experience with Catalina in the prior game, everyone's kind of still figuring it out, right? Like, I was able to get to Master first in North American on the character. It was not easy. It was definitely a slog. It took me, most of my friends with their characters that weren't Catalina were getting Master in like 180 to 300 some games. It took me 1180 games to get that character to Master. It was definitely a grind. And it's not that she can't do it. It's just, like I said, it's just a little more work, right? You got to play a little more sweaty, and everyone's trying to just sort of figure out kind of what that line is, right? You can't be at a 0 on the degen dial in this game. It doesn't matter who you play. You got to have a little bit of degen in there.
Exactly.
Because that's the game that it is. And you can't just reject it for being a different game if you want to compete in it. At some point, you got to embrace the stupid stuff, figure out what's stupid on your character. The answer to that for Catalina, by the way, is max range, like perfectly spaced 6-6H. which is -1 on block, and then just do ult thrust. Trust me.
Mhm.
It's really weird. Her ults are not good as raw things to throw out, but as combo starters, ult thrust is actually crazy. It does insane damage as a combo starter, and she has a relatively rare benefit. Most characters cannot spend an ult and then make the meter back that they spent in the same combo. That's actually pretty rare. Six can do it. Catalina is one of those characters, if ult thrust specifically is the combo starter, making it a very good DP punish. It's a 9-frame move. If they just do a DP in the corner, you do it, you 5H off the wall bounce, and you'll build the super if you start it with 100.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that Katmir overall was a very great set by both of those players. I just think that it's important to think hard about the habits and tendencies of the other Catalina player, as well as I think more droid usage on Name Brand's part would have helped them out a lot, which is trying to just more so just deny aggressive approaches in mid-range.
Yeah. One of the trade-offs of like standing back in that Grand Blue zone is after they buffed light thrust to make it safer, you can sort of throw it out at that spacing and not have to worry about it. But speaking of characters who got similar things, Beelzebub, they made his 214L safe actually. It used to be where his 214L, not Beelzebub, I'm sorry, Belial, his 214L was punishable before, and his H version was safe, and they flipped those, which makes sense, right? Make the move that's a super rewarding combo starter the punishable one. That kind of makes sense. At the same time, he already had a really, really obnoxious sweep, and one of the only things making it not mega obnoxious was that you couldn't just buffer it into 214L all the time because it would be punishable sometimes, and now you just can.
Sure.
So this is a character that I am. I think Yule is also very strong in this version. But
Yes.
Belial?
Yes. That character is so good.
I think that Belial had one primary weakness, which was that you could spot dodge 5H and explode him for it in the range where he really wanted to use that. Now he can 6XL in that same space, right? All he was missing was an advancing advantageous move that you couldn't spot dodge and kill him for, and now he has that. And it filled in a very, very small hole that this character had from being nearly perfect. I think he's very strong, but on the other side, Yule, at this point, counting her ults, has to have like 7 different reversals at this point. Her routing is great. She was one of the characters that is in that like 6 Lancelot bucket where they were balanced in the prior game specifically by having low damage to make up for the pace of their offense and how quickly they can come at you. And now these characters, especially with their ults, can all do actually very real damage, even mid-screen. And her speed that she can come at you, the variety of attacks, the dash attacks, the being able to look out for stance, stance just auto-parrying 6XLs. That alone is huge for this character.
Precisely. And as you can see, Zoe and Makona are both utilizing their characters' tools and options very well. I actually played against Zoe recently too, and I think that Belial in general is a character who is super good at just aggressively asserting himself in mid-range, which is something that Zoe is doing very well. Right,
yeah,
nice
I do think with
the
addition of the dash attacks, like he really is the ultimate mid-range character now. There's characters that are better from further, and there's characters that are better up close. But if we're talking that footsie's range, that mid-range, Belial is the perfect character right now. He has so many options, and they're very complementary. You can't look out for 3 of them with the same thing, right? Like you have to call out the specific one and react to the specific one. A lot of meter here. Wonder if we'll see any ults. There is that ult grab that has the parry kind of like baked into the front, but gonna spend it on the super. Makona with the easy punish. Gonna close out game 1 here.
That was very well done by Makona.
Yeah, I actually, looking at the bracket, for sure, Makona would be one of my favorites to get up there, you know, if not to graduate, to at least be in a position to. Learning a lot recently, and also this character is pretty cracked right now.
Alright, so Zoe trying her best to fight out the corner here.
Yeah, nice jump back. Gonna get a little bit of space here. That right there, yeah, like that, you know, there wasn't anything for that string, but it was safe. And it was safe from a very, very good sweep. And if you have a very good tool where the only drawback to it is that it's punishable and you can have ways to make it not punishable, that's strong in any game. Nice routing. This is going to close out, yeah.
Yeah, that was extremely well done. The largest thing about Yule's stance pressure in this game is it's way more threatening, and Makona is utilizing that very well. Her stance 5M being +2 on block is super oppressive. It makes it a lot harder to just down back Yule's offense. Alright, nice 5M check versus Belial 5M.
Yeah, and this is probably one of the harder parts in general against Yule, is even on block, you're just kind of always fighting out of the corner against her. She gets a lot of carry even on block, a ton of it on hit, and you have to accept that your back's going to be to the wall. You're not going to get fat damage against her very often because you're just not going to have corner combos, and most characters require that. And oh, nice empty jump low, finishing off the set with a perfect. Makona looking really strong.
That was a very strong showing. I think that when it came to that matchup overall, I think Zoe played really well, but the largest things that are important to note in that matchup when it comes to fighting against Yule is the character in and of herself, she struggles to contest lows. So in the case of Belial, threatening with 2U and his fireball are really, really strong. So his 2M and his 2U are really strong moves for keeping a lot of the mid-range options that Yule wants to commit to, because Yule's 5M and 6XL, they both serve the same relative utility, and they both lose to relatively the same options, right? So being able to threaten...
Oh no, go ahead, finish your thought.
Gotcha. So being able to threaten with options like Belial 2M and 2U are just really key in that matchup, as well as threatening with fireballs in mid-range. And on paper, you would want to whiff punish Yule 5M, but it's a bit harder to do in vanilla. I mean, it's a bit harder to do than vanilla due to how potent 6XLs can be. So I also think that Belial's fireball is really strong against Yule too, because if you do 2-3-6L into 4H, which is the fidget spinner follow-up as I always call it, right? It's strong because if you commit to that fireball, you're able to gain a lot of ground alongside his other normal fireball follow-ups, right? And she actually can't slide under it. So it locks down a lot of what she wants to do in neutral if you're pestering her with fireballs at ranges where she can't contest them and ranges where she can't 5M. And in 5M range, you're making her life miserable with 2M and 2U. I think that's like very, very key to do against the character.
Yeah, I do want to say too, I think we should point out for Yule, the only character in the game that can still safe jab ult TPs. And not only that, but it's just off of the same setup that she already used in vanilla, right? She got to just kind of keep doing the same corner oki. And there's two advantages that I think are very strong in this game. One, being able to ignore most of the ult reversals in the game, I do think is very strong. So Yule has that box checked. Two, I think having an ult that works as a dedicated throw bait into a full combo is incredibly strong in this game. Those characters who can still do that, your Zeta, your Soris, those characters have, basically, they still have universal overhead, right? They still have a straight up, coin flip, if you guess deck, I take half your health option, where most of the cast doesn't. Yule, I think, has that with her 2-1-4U as well. So definitely a really well-rounded character in those regards. She also has the whiff punish style ult, which I don't see used like that a ton, but it can be kind of good using her 2-3-6 ult in that it uses the slowdown to extend the recovery of their whiff, and then moves forward and punishes them and refunds because it hit. I think that's a very strong way to use the tool as well.
I fully agree. Okay. Also, what's good to the chat? I hope everyone's enjoying themselves.
I'm so glad you said she could safe jab ults. I didn't even know. Damn.
Yeah, we literally the only character in the game can do that.
Okay, so we're getting into winners quarters finals here. We're gonna have Koga, who is an old school player for our Grand Blue tournaments, used to get like second, third consistently in those, and Chusai, who I know as a Guilty Gear player. He plays Jacko in Exard, who that's my goat. Hi Zikbar, how are you today? So I don't know I know Koga did not want to play Vera, but he might have gone back to her.
The Vera's on there right now. That's what we're seeing on the previews. We are seeing Catalina against Vera.
So many Catalinas, Callisto in heaven.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? I do think Gran might seem at first glance like the Ryu of the game, but he's not. Catalina is the Ryu of the game. Gran is more like the Jago of the game. And I do want to say, anyone who's new to this game that's picking it up, especially if you're trying the free version or whatever, take a couple weeks and play Gran. I think that, for one, he's actually very fun. He might seem like a very vanilla, like main character pro tag Shoto. He's not. He's a very fun offensive character. He has really fun, rewarding combos. 2, he forces you to play every part of the game. You have to use every mechanic. You have to use fireballs. You have to use uppercuts. You have to use guard cancels. You have to use your unique and whatnot. I think that I would recommend everyone try it. Catalina too. She's, you know, a little bit more of your traditional stand back, throw fireballs, try to catch a jump and whatnot. Yeah, and I'm gonna get some corner carry here for the RSRC. Yeah, not a bad round actually. Yeah, getting a little bit of an extension off the 214H. Interesting.
I actually didn't know she could do that. That's so sick.
I didn't either. Yeah, like you don't get a lot from that because your thrust timer just got down, but that does that is something she's sort of lacking. There might be something there to look at because she actually does not get a ton of mid-screen extensions. Wow, full swinging with
like,
the SSBA.
Her mid-screen like conversions relative to other characters in the cast are definitely a lot less rewarding, and
yeah, it sort of works. Raging Strike into Raging Chain, since she always does get close 5H, just doing close 5H auto combo into 2 and 4L is a lot of corner carry. Like, it's honestly fine. A lot of times if I'm using Raging Strike, Raging Chain, it's one of two situations. It's either doing the full dump because they're under 40% and I'm trying to kill them mid-screen, or I'm just using it to get some space around the corner, which is exactly how Shusai used it a few minutes ago. Like, that type of thing, I think using that extension with the H-Thrust was good there because it got even more space. This is going to kill now. Yeah, so they buffed. There was 1,000 damage added to the base damage of that super, as there was all supers, and then it also now gives a combo even mid-screen. Vera definitely... yeah, so Vera, I don't think Vera's like necessarily in that top 5. I think she's an upper mid character, but she definitely got some really healthy buffs to offset the fact that she lost her main playstyle, which was like looking for the knockdown into the Lumioki, building a ton of meter and whatnot. She has to play 100%. A bit differently, but they made her super way better. Yeah, gonna spin the RSRC here just for corner trade.
Great confirm.
Didn't quite get the wall bounce, but I like that because of the wall bounce. There was a little bit of extra time there, and that, even though it wasn't a hard knockdown, did buy time for Koga to get Lumi up, but ran into the stride grab. Caught slipping by the RSRC. Yeah, had to spend it. I do think that it's definitely reactable. Like, you can absolutely went for the shimmy on Cat, and that's what happens. Her backwalk speed doesn't get far enough, and even if you find out to Geth Tech, you still get grabbed. That's actually
you spoke it into existence. That's so cursed.
Yeah, and it's not just her. Percival suffers from that greatly. He has even slower backwalk speed. That's a huge issue for Percival right now. Vasaraga, similar issues. Nice use of the 6XL, just not respecting the Lumi, just pushing through with the plus frames, puts the Lumi away because of the block contact, stealing a turn with the DP there.
Yeah, I think Shusai is doing a really good job of aggressively trying to deny Koga's momentum and forcing decisions out of Koga's hand that are more favorable for him.
Gonna just take the knockdown to install there. I don't mind that. Like his Cat, I don't think it really matters. I'm never worried if the Vera gets into install. She gets better combos off of sweep, but other than that, it's kind of like you're fighting the same character. You still have normals that can fight hers. Oh no, bit a little hard on the DP. Gonna get punished here. Yeah, and that's gonna do it. Koga taking it 2-0. Shusai had definitely had a few good looks, but Koga just kind of kept it solid on defense, didn't overextend too much, was pretty frugal with the resources.
I think that the aggressive DPs are... It starts a DP offensively in a fair amount of instances, but I think that another option that's really great offensively if you want to secure that momentum in a more safer manner is Brave Counter. And I think that just if Shusai were to play that matchup in a manner where you focus more on boxing Vera out rather than trying to trade blows of her, because Vera's mid-range buttons are also really strong, then I think it puts her in a really difficult scenario and outcome overall if you aim to play in a manner in this game, I think, where you try to like out 6XL or outbox someone out in this game. It's like, it's kind of weird to think about it in that way, but
these characters too had nearly identical ranges in a lot of ways. Like Vera had better special moves. She typically had been thought to slightly win the matchup because she had better special moves, but in many matchups in vanilla where Vera had what would be considered super privileged normals, Catalina was one of few characters that could handle them. She could absolutely fight in that space. She could whiff punish all of Vera's stuff and everything. Like, they're working with really, really similar mid-range tools. And while Vera's damage is pretty good, and she does get some new mid-screen conversions and whatnot, really all it takes is 2 touches for Cat in the corner. No one survives that. It doesn't matter who you are. This character just dumps out damage. Oh, so we're actually seeing Omniscythe come up. Omniscythe had been on Anila the times that I had run into them previously on rank. So had dabbled a little bit in vanilla here and there. I caught them occasionally. And
so the big thing
looks
about
like playing
Omni,
more consistently here.
So the big thing about Omni and vanilla, because someone was asking, is I think that Omni is a very talented player in many games like BB Tag, BBCF, etc. But in terms of Granblue, he mainly played the game a lot in Season 1 and early Season 2, but he stopped competing like very, very early in the game's lifespan overall. Like he hasn't really played Granblue in like 2 years.
I do think you're going to see a lot of, and we already sort of have, right? You're seeing players like Tempest come back, like players who thought it was a cool game, definitely weren't going to deal with delay-based netcode when Strive and whatnot had rollback.
I mean,
and they're like, yeah, it's a cool game, but
even like he entered one of our BlazBlue tournaments, and you know he was known to be like really good at BlazBlue, but he hadn't played the game in like 5 years. Yeah, and he entered our BlazBlue tournament, got 5th. So
I will say,
it's like not indicative.
Omni was playing Anila, and I won the rank sets that I ran into him, and that is the first time actually in Granblue that Omni has not hopped on like a DLC character when they came out and beaten me with it. Every time a new character came out and he was just kind of dabbling, I lost to him. That was really consistent in vanilla. In the beta, I got smoked by Siegfried like every time I ran into him.
Nanu's on a tear with 6 though. Let's go.
Oh, big mistake though. Nanu putting themselves in the corner with the misspaced dive kick, and now you got to hold the overhead mix. There it is. This is the close out. Yeah, SSVA, nice easy combo. Using that Raging Strike, I do want to point out, using Raging Strike as an alternative launcher is really important in this game. Sometimes your launch special timer, you know, in Zoe's case, that would be the 214H Rekka. Sometimes that's down and you still get a hit and you need to make something happen. And using raw Raging Strike to launch him just to buy time for that timer to come back is a really important strategy.
Very true, very true. Okay, nice going for the setup. Great throw. Nice.
Oh, down, but yeah, a little bit out of throw range, but that's fine. That was 50 meters spent. That was very expensive for Nana here.
Nice.
Ooh, that crossed up. Maybe a little bit of a walk forward for Omni. Help that there. Gonna DP out. You do have to be aware when Zoe has 50 meters, she does have that now. Yeah, too slow. Supers in this game, you know, I was going to bring it up in their first match, but Nanu did hit every reversal super they intended. But supers in this game are actually very slow startup compared to most other reversals. If someone's kind of awake and being tight under pressure, you're going to have a really hard time landing a raw super. 6 for the most part just doesn't need to worry about it just because his parry is such a strong reversal option normally. That was a really interesting interaction. So Omniscythe went for the 668, the armored move for Zoe, which is that right there. Does give a full combo. It is armored. It is super punishable. It's like -9, -10. But it just kind of ignored the 6 air fireball, went under it, and counter hit punished him.
Yeah, that was really sick.
Yeah, this time.
Alright, nice confirm.
A lot of throw protection on Wake Up. I believe the amount of throw protection is the same as it was in vanilla as well.
Yeah, I believe it's 9 frame.
Yeah, that was tuned around 7 frame throws, not 4 frame throws. Yeah, kind of similar situation we saw round 1 first game.
Great job again.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a really great bait by Omni.
Yeah, Nanu just overextending a little bit, putting themselves into the corner.
Okay,
Omni taking good
by the way,
advantage.
just as we're before we get into this next round, the O2 tournament has started. I put the link in the chat. It's on Zerchi's Twitter. Let me see how many people we have. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Zerch for running that. Keep in mind, like, when you go 0-2 in tournament, you might feel like the worst player ever. A quarter of the bracket is guaranteed to go 0-2 at the start. Like, that's just math. No, at least 25% of the bracket is going 0-2. So you're always going to be in company. So shout outs to running the consolation bracket, just getting people a few more games for their entry time.
And we do run our O2 brackets as Swiss, so everyone gets to play the same amount.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think that when it comes to the very nature behind... Oh, wow. That was a really great confirm by Omni. But when it comes to the very nature of... Wow, going for the side swap. Yeah, she has those from Raging Strike. I'm surprised Omni knows those. That's sick.
I haven't seen those before. I've seen the ones where like she's carrying you and the Rekka, you go behind her, but it launches you back in front of her so she gets to extend. I've seen that, but I haven't seen that side switch in a pickup. That was pretty fun.
And that's something that's really strong that she has. Usually she can do it off of like any confirm that she lands where her back is to the corner. When she Raging Strike, Raging Chains, then she does a 2-1-4H. The 2-1-4H will side swap. So she can like carry you from corner to corner basically and re-corner you, which is really strong. I wonder what you thought about that set. Yo, what's good, Yomar? What's good, Seth?
Yeah, Neokar, Seth, in the chat. Definitely Seth, someone I'm hoping to see back. You know, there's rumors that we may be able to get another rendition of things like the Midwest versus New York exhibition, things like that. If that comes to fruition, definitely one of the Midwest players I want back.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely has played the game for a long time. Definitely has supported for a long time.
Okay, we're gonna get
actually no. You know what? I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna take a moment to unshout out Seth LOL here and put him on blast in the chat. The first Arc Revo Midwest, my first 2 matches I think were buys. Like they were DQs, and then Seth did really well in BB Tag and made top 8, got second actually, and I had to wait for BB Tag top 8 to finish before I could play my first match, which ended up against him. So I got iced for like 2 hours because he was good at BB Tag, and that's not cool. Stop being good at games.
Okay, so we're gonna get Omniscythe again because Levy. Oh no, they did. Levy and Luke did just finish theirs. Okay, whatever. We'll get Omniscythe anyway. So we're gonna get Omniscythe and Makona, and then over on the lower side we have Luke SFL versus Koga. Luke beat Levitar to get here.
Oh, Luke, that's the... Yo, shout out to Luke. That's the Strive player who's played Happy Chaos for a long time.
I don't know if that's the same player.
Like Luke SFL?
Yeah, is that the same player? Squidgy,
yeah,
Squidgy,
yeah.
Or whatever his name is? Oh, okay. Okay. The Happy Chaos player, okay.
Yeah, for sure. They're on 6-3 now. Yeah, they're doing really well.
Cool. If they play Cat 2, I'm going to ask some questions. going from Happy Chaos to that would be a little bit of a swerve there.
He plays Sieg in this game? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get Makona versus Omniscythe again. So the Makona rocking the girlfriend, the wife, UL wife, which I think is the real UL player here. Okay, well, let me tell them they can go.
True.
Oh, they're gone.
That's like the Nadeshko, you know, Mika's buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see how Losers is going.
I'm definitely in a rough spot here because I really like Makona, but I really hate Yule, and those two things kind of come together.
Nah, if I was a Cat player, I would hate that matchup. Like,
no, this was already in vanilla. Yule was definitely a really rough match for her.
Yeah, that matchup was
pretty bad as well, but this matchup was very rough, and it only got rougher. Luckily for Yule, she's getting shielded from a lot of my complaints because I think the Anila matchup is actually really, really rough. And that ends up taking most of the heat, I think, for the Cat players.
Alright, so we got Yule versus Zoe. Very interesting matchup here.
Very interesting colors here.
Oh, like wow,
you the clash with the Rekka? Yeah, interesting.
Oh, no punish?
Yeah, Makona, maybe not familiar with that move yet. That 6-6H is definitely something Yule can just dial out a 5M to punish. Good defense, didn't bite on the throw bait. That instant air lightning, one of the better throw bait specials in the game.
Nice throw up.
Another one, good tech by Ami here.
Alright, Makona's doing a really great job of trying to just outlast Zoe's Dragon Timer, which is very important in the matchup. Alright, nice DP by Ami.
Out. Yeah, gets the side switch. That's really important there. That hard knockdown, you know, when you don't have an unmetered reversal, when you have to spend it, at least you're always getting the hard knockdown. Ooh, links into the... Yeah, that was interesting. Able to use the slowdown there to link into the ult, to the 2-2U, which actually leaves her in stance, so she can immediately follow up with stance options off of that.
Yeah, that's super sick. Alright, once again threatening with 2-3-6L to 63M.
Another one. Yep.
A nice DP
Yeah, went
out
for another
by
grab,
Omi.
I think there. Ooh, went for the empty jump grab, but the backwalk speed fast enough to get out of that. It's weird. When a throw doesn't work in this game, it makes you flash back to all the times you did get thrown out of something. You're like, wait, why didn't that one work? Using the medium dragon for a little bit of pressure. Oh, out of range on the Raging Strike, but also out of range on the Raging Strike, trying to get the combo there into the Raging Chain, but a little too far away. Yeah, good use of the Fireball. And this time the throw bait works. Nice conversion, RSRC. Yeah, bunch of damage.
That was actually so sick, yo.
Yeah, that air ult lightning, one of the better. That's what I was talking about, right? It's such a huge advantage in this game to have an ult that can bait throws into a into a full combo instead of having to rely. If you don't have that, every other character has to take a risk to bait a throw. They either have to open up their frame trap big enough that it loses to something, or they need to do a jump or a backdash to bait the throw, or a shimmy that they probably are going to get grabbed out of anyways.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of characters. It's maybe like 6 or 7 who have an advantageous throw bait option.
Most definitely. All right, so Omni is trying his best to box out Makona with the dragon. Wow, nice catch.
Yeah, the dragon putting in work. Yeah, even the little dragon's like, I saw what the big one did. I'm gonna try that.
Dang, this scenario's both close because this is match point for both of them.
Oh yeah, this is also definitely a one touch for anyone. Yeah, Raging Strike extension, SSBA.
Dang. Wait, actually this might kill. Oh my god.
Yeah, it might. There was full BP going in, so it's going to be close. I think it's going to kill.
Wow!
No, just sure, yeah. Fortunate having that one BP. Have to be careful with guard cancel now, Chip.
Yeah, that's a really hard situation to be in.
That is a hard situation. When you have that situation and they have full BP, you have to be careful not to get guard canceled because that just creates like a checkmate situation. It puts you down to 1 HP. It's a hard knockdown on counter hit. It's plus unblock. Like, no matter what happens, you're going to be in chip danger right away.
Absolutely. Offensive guard cancel is just really, really strong. Nice throw attempt by Omni. Oh, wow!
Baits out the G. Oh, nice use of the 5L. I really like that. So the recovery was kind of iffy because of the fireball, so they just mashed the fast as normal to get that punish.
Nice!
And it worked. Straight into the ult Rekka too, and because of the refunds, the way the refunds work, even though you need 50 to activate it, if there's no invulnerability on the ult skill, it does refund half of that meter. So starting with 75 meter there, Omni was able to spend 50 on the lightning, get 25 refunded, and have 50 to link ult Rekka there. Great resource usage.
Exactly. Alright, nice hit.
Yeah, caught with the safe jump. Staring at the Raging Strike, and yeah, that's fine. That was another good strategy there from Omni. You don't have to spend the Raging Chain. You can do the Raging Strike just to bleed their BP to see if they're reacting, and just take the
is this gonna hit?
Gonna super through.
Oh my gosh!
You know, this actually sort of works. There's gonna be it's gonna be hard to make up the damage loss from not having that meter before getting shipped out. You gotta watch for the DP here. Baits out the guard cancel. That's a good start. But yeah, giant ult dragon. That is a large fireball. Gonna close it out.
1-1.
So that's a 1-1 set. Yeah.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
I'm really liking the ult usage from Omni. Using ult Fireball almost as a reversal to catch the 2 and 4 bailouts to just not have to deal with the mix coming back in.
I fully agree. Oh wow, nice interrupt on the dragon there from
We just
Makona.
saw the difference between a real DP and Zoe DP. Zoe DP is a lot more like Blood Scythe from Ragna and Blaze Blue. It's invuln in the middle and it's plus on block, but it's not invuln on startup on the way up.
Yeah. Oh wow, nice
Caught the grab. Not able to get the combo though, even with the force crouching. But yep, the 2 and 4 HM, that's one of the better follow-ups. It's always safe. It always gives the combo on hit.
It's extremely good because at worst it's -4, so all the guys are still punished.
Also goes under fireballs.
Very, very powerful. Alright, nice
counter hit link. That was super, super far. Good recognition. Got the 2M.
Oh, what a confirm on the stance M! Dang, this is hella damage. Alright, nice DP out by Omni.
Yeah, Omni's going to need to come up with some really strong offense here. This time, yeah, Makona blocking it out and pushes 5H. Like, no, you're not buying back in. Last stand here for Omni. Taking a good amount of chips. Good job chasing the 2-1-4. Gets that, but yeah, holding on to the meter, I think, hoping for the Brave counter to deplete the last BP. Didn't come, but okay, not out of this yet, but that's a really rough drop. Chip is becoming an issue.
Oh, no, chip out!
And the air grab, great protection on the jump out.
No.
The air grab was good.
On to winners finals.
Yeah, I really like the air grab choice. That would have also worked against the delayed air lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and again, not surprised there. I mentioned that earlier, looking at the bracket. You know, Makona, depending on who else is in, you might have a hard time graduating, but I definitely would have picked them to go far in this bracket, and they're definitely not letting us down so far.
Makona has been putting in the work. Like I remember, like one of the first tournaments Makona entered, he won the O2 bracket. Now he's like in winners finals. That makes me so happy.
Yo,
Yeah,
I think it's a great environment and community for fostering growth. Mainly because although it's very important to play against players of all skill levels and a wide variety of skill, playing players at your skill level really does help you not just feel good about the adjustments and the improvements that you make, but it helps you more directly assess yourself on a angle of someone who thinks very different. Well, they think very similarly to you, even if they play differently, rather than feeling as if, oh, these players just think about the game in a completely different way, and their head is on Mars and my head is on Earth. So
I do think another important part of like beginner and intermediate brackets is like maybe if you're intermediate you go 2-2, but you don't get the experience of being in winners finals, you know,
exactly.
And for players, not so much for the players who are good in other games, we still let them in, but it's still important. They have other reasons they want to participate in these brackets. But for players who, like, this is the first game they've ever really gotten good at, that's really important.
I think it's important, too, to vary your styles and how you're playing the formats. I do think tournaments are really important because you can only practice things that give tournament nerves by entering tournaments. So things like this are a great service. I also think that you know, sweaty first to death in a room is very important, and that is primarily just for play stamina, mental stamina. Keep in mind the size of these brackets, right? Like Dove, he had to cap out this bracket and make a waiting list. I don't know if that's happened for Granblue before, maybe for some other games. The net play weeklies, WASD, you know, TNS, these are 256 player majors now. You're going to have to play a lot more matches to get out of pools to go far in a tournament. Frosty Faustings, 400 plus entrants, right? It is the biggest. It is bigger than EVO 2022, I believe. I think it's the biggest Granblue tournament ever now. You're going to have to both learn to balance the skill set of facing random opponents over and over and catching on to tendencies on the fly, being used to that first to two format, but also really developing that sort of mental stamina to be able to play a lot of matches over the course and not wear yourself out. Know where to take shortcuts, know when the easy stuff is working, and you keep doing it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell them to go ahead. Rose had to step out for a bit, but we're just gonna go ahead and get this one down. So Koga versus Koga, I assume, will be on the Vera, and then we got Luke on the Siegfried.
Vera versus Siegfried.
These little chibis are so cute. It's like some of the cuter chibi art styles.
I need to go back and see what I actually unlocked by doing the grind. Well, my player card is pretty thoroughly, but I need to check like the titles and stuff.
This Siegfried color goes hard. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, actually, this is really good. Good spacing off the bat by Koga. Wasn't ready for the full punish, but Siegfried -M, actually, while she's here, not going to let her escape the allegations. Siegfried and Vera have nearly the same -M.
That shit is so
easily
big
the
for
best
both
ones
of
in the
them.
game. Yeah, very difficult to punish, easily made safe, hella range. Something I do want to point out, this is going to be important. Also, I can sort of already see it, Kuga, you know, kind of with the knowledge check here. The parry move from Siegfried, if you have a 7-frame 2M like Vera, like Catalina, or faster, someone like Gran, for the most part, if they're doing that 2-2-X, that like the 2 sword swipes and then they can do the follow-up, this move right here, thanks for illustrating. If you do a 7-frame 2M, it beats every option other than the parry and also punishes doing nothing. So you can just do that until they show that they're willing to parry, and then once they start parrying, just run up and back throw them or something. I think that's a very, very important low-level matchup knowledge against
Koga
Siegfried.
literally just has to
far in this
DP now. Oh, well, no, we do the hit scan move. Doesn't matter.
Battle 2. Engage.
My friend described ult Lumi as hit scan, and I was like, yeah, it kind of is.
You could say that as for Cat Fireball too, except hers has also just a giant herp box.
No, Levitar and Spooky Mango fighting it out to see who makes top 8. This is so sad.
All right, Koga risks the DP, trying to get a bit of space here. Again, those heavy DPs aren't a hard knockdown here. So you can see this like right back in the corner. And yeah, Koga, I think, is starting to catch on with pushing the button, you know, trying to get that challenge. But when you watch this back, Koga, use 2M. 2M is your button there. Mainly because the L follow-up, the high follow-up, does not actually interact with crouching normals. That one right there. So if you just press 2M there, it just ignores that move and you punish it. All right, this is going to be a good route, though. SBA, a little bit of a juggle after. Should be able to turn this into a safe jump. Oh, actually faked it. Comes down with the grab. Probably a preemptive guard cancel on Luke's side there. And no BP. Down to that last BP. Didn't have anything available to guard cancel out. All right, Luke taking a moment here. Yeah, now the rematch is taking a moment to collect themselves.
The egg chamber?
Off the bat.
Holy shit, what is going on in there?
Nice whip punish with the 5H. Yeah, that's kind of a weird conversion. Would have had to use probably 214H or 214L, but the whip punish shows that they're awake.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of being awake, that 5U's not working. You
Koga,
already know what I'm going to
it.
say, Koga. You already know. 2 minutes in the shame box. We do. We need like a hockey-style 5U penalty box.
Every Vera's greatest fear. Oh, nice. Was he listening, or did he already know?
Good checks here. Going to get the combo. Yeah, nice routing. Can we get a Raging Strike? Combo limit's coming up, though.
With a
nice routing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had to be very close. Very good routing from Luke. They're able to close it out on the hit. Didn't trigger the combo limit too early.
Battle 2. Engage.
Goatka? I was like, for a second, like, who is he referencing? Okay, punish this, my man.
Look at that wall bounce range. Yeah, got the 6-6 link. That's kind of a cool combo.
Yeah, Koga is not letting him get away with this, with these recos.
Yeah, and this is the back and forth interaction, right? Like, if you're Luke at this point, now you got to start showing this parry.
Yeah.
Look at the combos that Face Vera gets now. Like, you don't even need install anymore. Just use the ult.
I keep telling all these new Veras, we have like a ton of new Veras in the server and I hang out in a lot, and they're all like, I want install, I want install. I'm like, Vera is so good without install. Like, what do you get from install besides like a few new combo routes, you know?
Yeah, except she basically already gets all of those combo routes off similar hits with Raging Chain now. So you don't even need that. Oh, I guess you do get 5U, which acts like a DP.
Yeah.
For some reason, that move just destroys normals mid-screen. Yeah, caught with the follow-ups again. Nice link. Yeah, taking advantage of the spacing and the counter hit, able to get that 6-6L. Setting up the unblockable. Yeah, that's a knowledge check. You got to DP that one. Welcome back, Rose.
Was good, y'all.
Oh, nice whip punish. Yeah, not a counter hit, so it didn't get the Dracane to link there. Koga has the resources to make this comeback. Yeah, BP's gone, definitely. Oh. Not quite there. Chip is starting to add up. BP's out. Honestly, one hit could definitely do this for Koga.
Yeah, what is Koga's goal? Oh, well, now he's dead. I was going to be like, well, how does he stay in this? But he doesn't.
It would have you basically landing the sweep into the normal like Vera install sweep combo. You could have turned like a sweep 214H, 2M, 236M, hold it, and turn that in like SBA or something.
Koga held on for a long time there at very low health though.
Alright, so Luke is doing a really good job threatening with Siegfried 2-2x RPS.
Yeah,
He's
we were
talking
talking
to
about earlier,
Tumblr.
like, Kuga is attempting to challenge with the 5L, but you can kind of tell the fact that they're using a standing normal, that they're just trying to feel it out and don't quite know the counterplay to the 2-2X yet.
Yeah. Alright, nice 6XL attack. Dang, nice close H. Ooh, that was a really
The
tricky
5U does
5U.
land, yeah. I do want to point out, I haven't like confirmed anything. It does feel like Vera close 5H was calmed down a little bit as an anti-air, but I'm suspecting that that has less to do with the actual anti-airs and more that they made cross-up jump-ins a little bit like the hitboxes on the back are a little bit better, so they're less likely to be killed by something like a close 5H when you're behind her.
Very strong offense here by Luke. Doing a great job of holding the corner. Dang, okay, that was very good by Kuga. Like, that cross-up to just get out the corner, that was extremely impressive. That angle is very good.
Something else I do want to point out, I haven't seen Luke use it, but I think an incredibly strong tactic on Siegfried is his ultimate 2-2X, the 2-2U, can combo from lights. So you can do like 2L, 5L, 2-2U. It's like Hugo Meat Squasher. It is full screen corner carry. It doesn't matter where you are, it puts them in the other corner. And I think using that as a mid-screen confirm tool, it also has a really long knockdown. It lets you set up an M Fireball, so they have to hold that medium Fireball. Oh, good block. Yeah, past the level 1 knowledge check for Vera is that her ult 214 ult Scarlet Oath is a low then a high.
Alright, nice. Gonna Raging Strike, yep.
Yeah, I like this. Spend
Great
it.
confirm.
Get a BP back. Luke was down 2 BP and Kuga had full, so this is going to even us out at 2 bravery points apiece. Maintaining the BP lead, it's hard to keep track of sometimes, but I think it's really important there. And yeah, nice confirm. Luke's going to close that out. But the BP game, you got to keep in mind, like, once you have 1 BP, you are in boomer check zone, right? Where if they Raging Strike and you do not dodge it, you eat the combo. Like, there's not a way around that because you don't have a second one to guard cancel. And if you have the BP lead, you're more free to guard cancel their offense. And this is definitely, like, it could be a little bit of a risk, but you'll see the frustration build. People do not like Brave Counter. If they get Brave Countered twice, they're going to come back in and they're going to do something psychotic. I can guarantee you. I've won multiple sets on ranked by just guard canceling 3 times, waiting for them to run up Raging Strike and then just dodging it and killing them. Like, it's guaranteed. And in order to make a strategy like that happen, or even just to stay alive late in a round and fend off an opponent who has full resources and they're coming at you, is you need to have that guard cancel available. It's a very strong mechanic, and you got to be pretty frugal with your bravery points and thoughtful with how you're using your super to restore them.
I fully agree.
Okay, well, we're going to move over to Losers, but Losers is taking a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and play the highlight reel from last year. This covers all the games we run over all of last year. So I made it about a week ago, so please enjoy. Hopefully we'll have at least one Losers top 8 match before then. But please enjoy.
Memorize the autumnal. When I fall, I tend to stumble. Rip my skin off, falling faster. Close my eyes to hear your laughter. Felt I knew you, feel I know you. Almost feels like I'm supposed to take my fears off. I don't need them. Closest I might feel the freedom. We get closer, seeing visions, turning into snap decisions. But for now, I'll enjoy someday. Maybe it'll happen one day. Love is stupid, so am I. But that's the problem. Spending days.
Sweep as like an oil painting.
So I thought about putting it in there, and then I just like did end up not being able, not fitting.
No,
it in.
I specifically want that as like a fine art piece.
We gotta get you by to illustrate the Vera sweep into SBA. Okay, so we are waiting on the winner of Nanu and Zendo and Shusai and Dylan for top 8, but we do have Ral over Morgan SP to make top 8, and Spooky Mango over Levitar to make top 8.
Yeah, shout outs to Zendo. I'm going to have to be a little bit biased here. Zendo, actually a Chicago player, primarily known for Soul Calibur, one of the stronger Soul Calibur players in our region.
Zendo's also really good at KOF 15.
Yes.
That's why he originally joined here.
For a while, and we played a set actually today in Grand Blue, and the Zoe was very competent. Definitely gave me a lot of trouble. It's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, it's one of our locals that plays other games. I'm going to cook them. And no, I actually definitely gave me a run for my money.
Okay,
yeah, that's honestly the funny thing about this game, Callisto, but also the very cool thing about it. Like, it's very exciting how much competition there is in Rising. Like, just playing against people, you're sitting there like, damn, like, these players got hands.
I think a lot of it is what we mentioned earlier, right? There's a lot of strong players who thought it was a cool game. It's just the delay-based netcode kept them away. And now that they can reliably practice online, they're giving it another shot and they're liking it. And it's a simple game. I do think that's a very big trap, actually, for beginner and intermediate players. I think it's really easy to see a known player from a different game and think you're going to blow them up because you have like 10,000 hours in Grand Blue and they don't. But it's a very simple game, and a good player given simple, strong tools is going to figure out how to use them kind of quickly. And that's why you're seeing someone like Tempest, taking top 3s in netplay tournaments with, literally a 100th of the amount of games I have logged in this game. It's just sometimes players are good and it's a relatively easy game to pick up. And it's exciting for me because that means there's going to be strong competition at every tournament, right? There's always going to be not just a good Grand Blue player, but a good fighting game player that you can step up to in this game. And then it's also kind of funny sitting back and seeing the first time they have to fight like Lil Wayne or whatever, and the like, what the hell's going on posts. The Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is actually a very knowledge check heavy game. Every character has at least one move where if you do not know how to counter that move specifically, it's usually a pretty simple answer, right? It's usually like dodge it here or guard button it here, anti-air it like this. But if you don't know that, you're going to lose that character most of the time.
For sure.
And I think that's what makes it rewarding to spend time in, right? Like, you don't have to grind out a ton of combos. You can play this as a second game pretty consistently, because once you know something, you know it. But until you do know it, you're going to get washed by a lot of players probably. Or you're going to pick near and do fine.
守護者守りもまた大きな力となるのは心得ている
Yeah.
君も大事なものを見つけたのではここは
All right, so Rally's coming back up. Rally was looking pretty solid with the offense on Cat, hitting the Callisto special a couple times. So obviously a top player. Definitely gonna give them a follow in game, see what they're working with on the replays.
So true.
Nice conversion. Yep. Caught the airborne hit. Gonna have to ease up a little bit because of combo limit, but yeah, just enough.
Yeah, Rally's running some very strong corner offense here.
Yeah, and using just enough the fake stuff there. Like, Kat gets a normal safe jump after grab now. She doesn't get empty jump into 2L safe jabs anymore, but she does just get, like, up forward into button safe jumps. And you do need to sometimes fake it out. You gotta at least find out if the opponent fuzzy mashes or anything, and sometimes do an empty jump grab, especially against, like, 6 parry. Do an empty jump too low still. See if you can catch him sleeping a bit. This is the character who just needs to do that sometimes to generate opportunities. So it's looking like Rally does have a pretty good handle on that.
For sure.
Oh yeah, caught sleeping though on the side switch. You know, we're talking about level 1 knowledge checks, and 6 is like the character for that.
Yeah,
right?
he knew the Lord of them for sure.
Yeah, his specials all have a specific answer. That right there. So the heavy fireball in the corner, if they're doing a block string into regular grounded heavy fireball, you can roll that to side switch them. And you're not going to get a punish on it, but you are going to get the positioning switch. And as Catalina, the corner is 80% of the work. Once you have the corner, at that point, it's just any hit from them being deleted. Like this seems... Okay, now Nanoot won. I was like... This round feels like Nanoot is winning right now, but at the moment, no. Because at any point, that's a Cat 2M for death.
Absolutely. All right, nice. Wall jump JL. Nice.
Ooh, the clash.
Oh, great clash confirmation.
Delay press on both sides resulting in that clash. Yeah, plus frames off of the 5U there. Oh, no.
Oh, too far. That's tragic. I think that might have been like 7 frames there.
Yeah. So this is actually a major complaint for Cat, and this is not new. This is already like that. But Far 5L does combo into light thrust, but not from what it has to be like the closest range that Far 5L comes out at. As Cat, how I had mentioned Beelzebub got that buff to his 2-4 timer to make it 7 seconds. She also got that on heavy thrust. So I would recommend either spending Raging Strike, Raging Chain there, because that'll always work, or just spend the heavy thrust. You can use her other tools to kill 7 seconds, and even though it's a 1 second change, it's a way bigger difference than it sounds like. Like doesn't sound like much time, but for characters where their big special was 8 seconds, shaving a second off that is actually a huge deal. Yeah, especially for Cat, who one of her weaknesses. Nice. Yeah, you can see this time using Raging Strike, Raging Chain, gonna get a bunch of corner carry.
Ooh, fast. That's good.
For Cat.
Yeah, I'm mute for this. Why do we have 3 Catalinas in top 8? I thought she sucked, Callisto.
Because she's been bad, so nobody bothered to learn the matchup ever.
So rude.
I can tell you, like people are dying to mids.
No, talk to them.
No throw bait, no neutral skipple. It's literally just mids. This I don't think is going to get there in time. Yeah, that's a punish. Yeah, that's all it does. Now, what I don't want to downplay, Catalina is still the best punish character in the game. I do think there is much less punishable stuff in the game. Like, they intentionally made a bunch of stuff way safer. It's harder to make a punishable mistake, but when you do, she's the best at dealing with that. So you have to still play clean against her.
Oh, nice. Up back jam there. Alright, nice contest in that situation.
Yeah, that was actually plus frames, but 6 frame normal with the close down, that's a pretty good normal.
I think that Rowley's definitely doing a great job of the pressure that they're running against Nanu, but I do think that it's really hard versus 6 in general to try to, like, contest them in neutral. So it's like, you have to make the most of the advantages that you have, So I think that Rowley's capitalizing on it well. It's kind of like the best way to describe it. It's like you can play the whole match versus 6 and feel like you're struggling and losing, but you're actually doing well due to like the nature of like how high APM and how like strong his neutral options are. So it's very important to like stay composed against that character.
This is also definitely a matter of Nanu is playing, you know, what we would call the traditional style of 6 at a beginner intermediate level. We would call it cooldown 6, which is basically just dumping heavy specials as they come out and primarily approaching with EX Dive, EX Fireball, EX Rekka. That is a really good low-level strategy because those are very strong moves that are very rewarding, but for Catalina, when you're only giving her 4 moves to look for and she can really key in on those moves, all she has to do is counterplay against them correctly, and once she does, you're going to take a ton of damage.
Exactly. I think Cat has not just the options, but the composure to be able to sit there in those situations and check those options. Alright, nice one. I feel like everyone shimmies are.
Oh yeah, could have gotten a combo there if they believed in the fireball. If they saw the hit, had a ton of frame advantage. And Rowley's going to close this out with a 2-1. Moving on.
That was sick, yo. Very well played by Rowley and Nanu. I think that the largest thing that's very important when it comes to getting better with 6 in the long run is something that I think is really valuable. Nanu is his approach options are strong in EX Rekka, 2AH, and Jump 214H, but I think that it's very easy to only see 6 as a character who can play aggressive mid-range, and I think the character opens up a lot more when you think about him from a more defensive perspective in neutral.
You can just parry a bunch of special cancels.
Yeah.
Right? Like trick them into doing 2M into Fireball and then just reaction parry it. Also, his normals are very underrated. His Far 5H is a very good button. His 2M is a very good button. He can play normals. He doesn't have to approach with specials, and when you're mixing up the looks, like you don't have to use any one thing that much, but if the person's beating the way that you're approaching consistently, you got to try anything different. It doesn't matter what's different. It's just the thing you're doing is losing, and you don't have a lot of time in a first to 2 to like check down to a new strategy. Something I do want to point out that changed in that matchup a lot too. You would know the more advanced 6 players in vanilla Grand Blue because they would use 214M a lot. 214M, the medium ground fireball, that move ignored almost the entire moveset of Catalina. She had to DP it, and that was the only thing that won. However, in this version of the game, ground 214M and ground 214H get absolutely dunked on by Catalina 66H. So that is like kind of another layer of the knowledge check, where it used to be that was where you went to when you were like really using the thinkies and you're like, I'm not just going to use my heavy specials, I'm going to 214M. Catalina will explode him for that now, and it's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, so when it comes to just utilizing like 214M and Jump 214H defensively, same with EX Rekka, those are really great tools for denying 6 the luxury of, denying the opponent the luxury of being able to poke at 6. So just trying to play him with a more defensive-oriented mindset in neutral is just very valuable to get used to.
Yeah,
because for instance,
go ahead.
Because you mentioned there as a tidbit, right, that 66H actually beats 6214M and 6214H. They did nerf the hurt box on his ground 214H, but his 214M hurt box is still so good. Like, it beats many of Kat's ground buttons, and it even beats her 6XL. Like, it beats a lot of characters' 6XLs. It's really, really strong.
Yeah, another strategy that I think is really important, because kind of like the low-level knowledge check, is do they know to roll the gap when you block string in a grounded 214H? Instead, you want to back up into about like the tip of 6's Far 5M range and do a neutral jump air 214H there. That's a range where most characters, they're not going to be able to reach through and anti-air you there. And because the angle that it comes out at is like just enough to be in front of the corner, and because it's going to make contact low, it's going to be hella plus. And instead of just like dialing out your ground button into 214H, just backdash once. Backdash once from where you're at, do a neutral jump, let the 214H rip in the air. And now you have like a free plus 15 or whatever.
214H is so strong too because like they can't really run under it. They get hit. It's so godlike.
Yeah, mid-screen, that is a little bit of an issue now. It is a little bit easier to get under the air 214H and punish him. It's also slightly easier to catch like a 2H on it if you're close enough. As you mentioned, the hurt boxes are a bit bigger, yeah. But you can, in the corner, you can sort of deny that from happening because they don't have the freedom of movement.
Precisely. Because if they risk moving forward, they risk eating EX Rekka, 5H or 2 into EX Rekka. It's really scary just running out the corner against him.
Gonna see another Grand here. Dylan, if this is the same Dylan I think about, also was a Cat player before, actually. And
yeah, Dylan put Cat, but I know he's been playing Grand more lately.
Yeah, and the last time I saw them, they were actually looking really competent on the Grand, playing a lot of really good defense. Spooky's still with the Catalina. I know Spooky's been dabbling a little bit. Nice confirm on the air hit. Yeah, that's going to be a combo. Yeah, you got to spend that cash. Oh, or just snatch. Yeah.
That was really well played.
Yeah, Spooky, pretty sizable lead here, but this is still definitely kind of the danger zone against Grand. This is, only a two-touch game. That's one. Don't need another one of those. Oh, finds the grab back throw too. Huge positioning switch. Yeah, Dylan being respectful. Oh, running up with the grab. Grand Blue handshake, but a little bit slow on the punish. That's still a thing. Even with the faster throw recoveries, that's still totally a thing.
Yeah. Alright, both these players standing with 6XLs and advancing attacks, just trying to box each other out.
Yeah, I will say in this matchup, Grand gets way more out of a block 6XL than Cat does because of that +1 2M. Being able to continue pressure from there is so good for him. I actually think, and especially mid-screen now, really consistently, you get like auto combo into heavy fireball and then you link the 5M, and the combos there are a bit more consistent. Either you can use ult boot, you can use 214L, heavy boot combos a little more consistently, and even the super actually sometimes. Grand super comboing from things is the weirdest part of this game to get used to.
Yeah, for sure. Super is like a really bad in vanilla.
Yeah, Grand easily had the worst supers in the first game, like for free.
All right, Mango trying their best to fight out the corner. Dang, that's empty jump.
Didn't quite have the punish. Yeah, that would have been it for sure. But using the 214U, that can bust out. It does have armor. It comes in kind of late. It's like frame 8, and it's only like 3 frames. But it can be used as a bust out tool like that. It's actually kind of good against Yule stance because you can, if you do down back skill plus U, you can kind of like one button it, and it's good against Yule, the M flip in stance. You can kind of react to it without having to move forward to do a DP. Also, it's kind of a funny, if someone does an ambiguous cross-up and like against Charlotta Demon Flip and I just mash ult DP on Wake Up and they go on the... I've won multiple games against Charlotta because they did that and I mashed DP and it just came out the other direction and armored them into all their health.
Yeah, that sounds hilarious. Oh my god!
Reversal thrust, yeah, letting it rip and rewarded for it. A lot of damage there. Empty jump grab. Only 1 BP, so that throw did a lot of damage. Yeah, and the grab against the roll. Spooky in a good position here on match point already.
Battle 2. Engage.
Alright, nice 60XL pressure. Great 5.
Dove, I don't know what you're talking about, Dove. 3 6XLs in a row, that's just neutral in this game. That's not good or bad. That's just footsies.
Yeah, that literally is just neutral game.
Yeah. So that's actually important. So what's going on there is the first one is at a range. Cat can't really do a lot at that range. Her Far 5L might whiff against crouching. She doesn't have any other advantageous buttons, so she has to do the second one to get close enough. She wants to be in the range where she gets close 5M on block.
Yeah, precisely. What I think is really
nice backdash to
wow,
grab.
Row bait.
Just have to finish this combo. Yeah, Spooky looking pretty good there.
So what's really important?
I think in general too, players who already played a more offensive style, even with Catalina, are right away going to be off on a better foot in this game than they were in vanilla, just because it's a much less controlled game. It's a more volatile game. It's a more offensive game. And if you were already thinking to play offense, you're going to sort of be, in the front door a little faster. The important thing is Spooky found a different color, so I don't have to T-pose on him. Yeah, no.
Color match.
No, Dylan was about to get booted off the cab. We were going to run a set real quick.
Yeah, in general, when it comes to 60 cells in this game, it's very important as the defender and the attacker to not only be mindful of what options each player is doing at their 6XL on block, but the distance at which you block the 6XL from, because as Callisto mentioned, when you block the 6XL up close relative to when you block it up far, you're able to threaten with, generally speaking, close mediums or close heavies. And in that scenario, you're definitely much closer to throw range, so being able to threaten with like micro dash throw or like micro dash buttons becomes a bit more oppressive and harder to deal with. So because the RPS and layers behind 6XL offense is so nuanced, you see a lot of really interesting decision making happen between both players. Because, for example, Kat, if you try to check her post 6XL, like a far 6XL on block with a 5L or 2L, especially if you're playing a character who doesn't have the best reach on their buttons, right? If she spaces herself out well, she can do like a walk back delay 6XL to check your map.
She can also, something I do want to point out that I think is going to be just as valuable as recognizing it defensively when it was spaced out, but there's a lot of active frames. There's like 4 active frames on 6XL. It gets up to like +8 if you space it all the way out. I think it's important to know offensively, you need to recognize your ranges where you're +7, +8, because one, your 6 frames are probably not going to reach there, and you're going to have to use like a 5M or 2M. So you need to, this is really important, especially for Gran and Jita. Mid-screen, their fireballs set up spacing where you get that kind of like late hit 6XL really consistently, and it's really important to know when you can combo that 7 frame. All right, so Rally starting off pretty aggressive with the thrust, and yeah, going in with the 6XL, very rushdown focused at the moment. And Koga, we've always seen like Koga will be a defensive player early on for a while until they're not. And it's like a switch flips, right? Like Koga goes from all defense to all offense really quickly. That right there, actually, that 6XL hit a little bit far away, and that where you see that on counter hit, you're going to get that 5M link anyways, but Vero would have gotten like a 2M or a 2-year link there no matter what.
And as you mentioned, Koga definitely turning the heat up. Combo limit?
I feel like Awful's right. Like when Koga gets install, he just goes ham. He's like,
I really
time
liked,
to win.
I really like the not really committing to anything at the end of the timer. Something that I think Vera does need to adjust for. Characters with natural DPs. I had mentioned before that heavy DPs were nerfed so that the timer is 10 seconds now instead of 8 seconds. Medium DPs, invincible medium DPs, were also timer nerfed, even on real input. They have at least a 4-second timer. I don't know if they're up to 5 if in that same change, or if they're still 4. But if you end a combo in DP with install Vera, you have a 4-second cooldown on it, and when you get the next hit, you're not going to have heavy DP available to do the post DP corner combo. And if something goes wrong, you're not going to have your reversal. Nice dodge.
That was very well played. Oh, nice punish.
Yeah, especially at this level of health, you really need to be looking to react to the 2-1-4 from Vera. It's a pretty good neutral skip. Catalina does have the natural DP. She can, see the blue in DP. There's some counterplay there. You can trick her with ult Lumi and whatnot, see if you can get her to commit to the DP just by seeing the blue flash. Or by seeing the Lumi in Rally's case, not holding that setup there.
Yeah, for sure.
Lumi's actually been really consistent in this matchup so far of like pressuring when Lumi is out and just getting the block stun so that Lumi gets put away.
Yeah,
look at this. You don't need install Vera anymore. Look at that combo. That did so much damage in corner carry. Oh, bet it hard on the super. Kuga, though, a bit far away. Still got the punish with the 8 frame. Yeah, good choice with the 5M there. That last hit of Catalina's super, it's -10, but it's a really awkward punish. So good choice there with the 8 frame normal.
That was very, very well played. All right, Kuga starting off very strong. Looking to take this on match point. But Rally's showing some really strong signs of life, too.
Yeah, breaking up the momentum there with the medium DP. And there, again, using the faster button this time to check. Now that Rally's been showing the offense after the Lumi set. Just putting out a faster normal to check the run up is working out.
Mm-hmm.
Medium thrust.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a pretty sketchy range. 2M might have punished there, but Koga didn't risk it. Good patience there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely just the representation of more fireballs and joints is really helping out Rally in this matchup, which is very helpful.
Ooh, so that actually worked out. Yeah, that's going to be the round. Rally made a really expensive choice there. Had done the heavy fireball and then looked for a 1 button into ult fireball to try to get the corner combo. You can use an ult while the timer is down. It does half damage and it greatly increases the recast timer. It's like 10 or 12 seconds.
Yeah, that would have been really sick. Right there. Alright, nice block.
Yeah. New auto combo enders. A lot of players are starting to feel them out a little bit, get used to using them more. I actually think they're very good for Cat specifically because you don't have to rely on light wall bailout, which is punishable.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to rely on the fireball to frame trap.
Wow.
It's very, very convenient.
They removed Guts, the low health scaling. They actually removed that for the game. Yeah, so combos do the same at all levels of health now. So you'll see things like that, right, where it feels like a throw does crazy damage, and then if they're missing a BP or two, then it really does do crazy damage.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Koga actually played that really, really well. I think that the main things that I noticed in that set are things that I would love to get Callisto's insight on first before I offer my thoughts.
I think for the most part, we had mentioned Koga will default to playing defensively, and Rally was playing very aggressive, and Koga was just kind of letting them hang themselves. Just hung back, checked with relatively safe stuff, and just wore them down.
Mm-hmm. I think that in general, in matchups like this, starting with the Space 66Hs and the Fireballs and the Droids were actually very effective, and they were working out really well for Rally. But something that I noticed that is, I think, very valuable is how you leverage and take advantage of the opportunities that you get when you manage to get an advantage in neutral. Now, what exactly I mean by that is there was a lot of situations where Rally would be put on the back foot and end up forfeiting a lot of space in neutral. And I think that it's really important, although it's really hard in this game as a character like Cat, because there's a lot of just very oppressive mid-range options. It's important to think about how you can hold your ground and actively try to push your opponent to the corner. Like, it's difficult for sure, but you really have to try to do so.
And I think one of the keys for Catalina in this version for that is actually backdash. I think backdash is really important for her compared to how it was in the last game. You would want to walk a bit more because backdash would just open you up to recovery, and you generally didn't want to commit to anything first. But using backdash in this version of the game, rather than continuously walking backwards and giving up more space, it's like a burst of space, and it can make 6XLs whiff, it can make a lot of specials whiff, and it can just reposition you into a spot where you can threaten with thrust, you can threaten with light wall a bit more. I do think that's a big adjustment. Also, just spacing in general, right? Stuff's moving faster in this game. There's more dash attacks, there's more advancing moves in general that are safer.
Exactly.
If you want to approach with thrust primarily, you got to be more careful with spacing. It's a big deal for Cat. You got to make sure you're keeping stuff safe because damage is so high in this game. Things that could be... oh yeah, they had the little bug. So there's a display bug. It looked like Omni Scythe to pick Cat as well here, but it is going to be Omni still on the Zoe against Spooky Mango here.
Battle 1. Engage.
This is actually a really hard matchup, I think, for Cat. So Catalina does have one big advantage over Zoe, which is that she has a regular DP. But my opinion is that Zoe is better at pretty much every other facet of the game right now.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. So there was the tier list video from Diaphone the other day. He spent like several minutes going on about why he felt Zoe was trash. And then he got to Cat and he's like, yeah, she's probably worse than Zoe. Like, I think that'll say something. Like, she's I'll put quotes in fine. Like, she's playing a fairly honest game in a fairly dishonest game, but as soon as something hits, you know, you get snapped awake, right? You think you're chilling until Cat hits. Oh yeah, nice fuzzy mash there. And that's the type of stuff you're going to see more experienced fighting game players do, right? Like, that's a technique generally called fuzzy mash. It's basically just doing a really late normal so that if they did the safe jump, you would already be in block stun and your normal wouldn't come out. And if they do the empty jump that's fake there, you get a button and you get to punish it. Good use. Double ults here. Spends 50.
Yeah, these throw baits are really paying off super well for Omni throughout the tournament. I think that, in general, it's really difficult to just... Oh, wow!
So what I would like to see there from Spooky, I'm just going to say this just so when Spooky rewatches the stream, they can get it later. When you get that mid-screen auto combo on Cat, now you want to do heavy fireball, like auto combo into heavy fireball, and then you can link Far 5L into Raging Strike, Raging Chain, or Heavy Thrust. She didn't used to get that mid-screen. Now she does. It's a little weird if you did a heavy starter into auto combo. You have to just do 2 and not the full thing, but otherwise it's pretty reliable. Yeah, these backdash throw baits, though, working out really well for Mango in both of these last matches.
For sure. Yeah, I think Mango's offense has been very, very strong in this matchup, which is really good.
But it does show, like, that is what Cat has to do, right? Like, Cat doesn't have a plus on block instant air ult that, you know, also gives a full combo. She has to commit to a backdash or, like, run up into a neutral jump or something.
Exactly.
And the reward for being right is fantastic, but it doesn't change it. She has to take a risk to just, like, apply offense. Yeah, that's a good super.
Nice.
Regular SBA in that situation is actually pretty good. It does, if they dodge on reaction, it'll actually punish the dodge with the second hit. With the amount of life that was left, that was a really good call out by Spooky there.
Yeah, that was very, very well played. Alright, nice check by Mango there.
Yeah, looking for the throw.
Wow,
big check
nice
there.
check.
Yeah. I think that Omni was looking for a fireball there. That was the heavy DP. Oh, keeps the corner as well. Chance for Omni to play some offense here. No no anti-air. Yeah, that is something against Cat. Keep in mind, Cat has no air stall. Like, you can't let her jump out of the corner. The characters who can't change their jump arc, you have to take advantage of.
Oh, nice. That roll actually looked like a misinput. Oh, wow. What a throw bait once again.
Yeah, this isn't going to kill, but this is going to do a lot of health and leave Omni with super.
Oh, what a block by Mango. That was extremely clutch.
Good guard cancel for space out of the corner, too. And the grab is going to work, and that's going to seal it. Game 2 going to Spooky. So we got a 1-1 here.
Yeah, really great adaptations by Spooky. And I think that Spooky's beginning to feel a lot more comfortable navigating neutral as Cat versus Zoe. It can be kind of difficult because her mid-range buttons occupy a similar space to yours, and her fireball is just more oppressive. But I think that, like, the more you get comfortable with the reads that the other player wants to make in neutral, then it begins to feel a bit easier.
And I think that they're working with different risk reward, right? Like, a lot of the stuff Cat's going to do is riskier, but the rewards are much higher. Especially before Zoe has a lot of resources. You know, she's just going to do less damage than Cat. This is actually kind of what was different in the first one. When Omni can get started first, things like the instant air ult lightning throw bait have been working out really well. But if he gets put in the corner and knocked down before he has meter, he kind of has a hard time really... Oh, good check. Yeah. Fake meaty there. Caught it with the Raging Strike. Goes with the low this time. Yeah. Had shown different types of overheads the last few times, so Spooky was looking for that nice mix up there.
Nice jump.
Yeah, good call out on the jump.
Great M-Droid. Oh, wow, that's perfect spacing, yeah.
Yeah, that Far 5M actually a bit of an advantage in that situation for Cat. She can get that post-Raging Strike combo without the Raging Chain from pretty far away compared to most characters.
Oh wow, nice spacing on the trade!
Yeah.
Right outside -6 spacing. That was really good, Mango. Alright, Omni trying his best to fight his way out.
Yeah, stuff that that ult is awesome when it works. It does not work that often.
Yeah.
Mango has been so good at playing around Ult Dragon, because Ult Dragon is really annoying. he has always been prepared for it in neutral when Omni has 50 meter.
Yeah, committing to the early light wall.
Oh wow.
Good
nice
anti-air.
play.
Yeah, gonna get some corner carry here. Good job
Extreme
salvaging. That was like a good 25% combo with nothing really spent on it. Yeah, Thrust is a little bit slower than Rekka. Gonna get stuff there. Omni, though, being a little bit greedy with the Dragon stocks.
Oh, nice. Oh, bit tricky.
Yeah, that's like -9, -10. You can just far 5 that Metis Cat really consistently. Nice 2H here. This combo's pretty sick. Oh, no. Let's see what Omni is willing to spend. I don't think he can quite kill here. Yeah, gonna take the setup. Protect. Ooh, that was almost punishable spacing. Nice.
Oh wow, once again teched. Oh, this is gonna put his
not
land.
underneath
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but Thrust is down. Good use of the Raging Strike to launch, but had to spend on the Raging Chain extension there because Thrust wasn't available to combo. And in the scramble, Omni's gonna bring it back together, close it out 2-1. But good showing by Mango there.
That was very, very well played. I think both players should definitely feel really proud about that set. I think that there was a lot of adaptations made on both ends.
Yeah, you could definitely see Omni was definitely learning things about the cat matchup on the fly. You could sort of see like the gears turning there, and Spooky did a really good job of like not just doing the same thing every time and trying to keep Omni on their toes.
So I believe now we have...
I think Spooky, I know you're like, I know Spooky's gonna be like, I got 5th place again. But 5th place in this bracket is very different from 5th place in our old Grand Blue brackets. So I think you should be very proud of yourself. Okay, well now we're gonna have winners finals. We're gonna have Makona versus Luke, 1st to 3 for this one.
Yeah.
And then we got Makona gonna go UL probably. I think Makona wants to graduate with UL, if I remember correctly. Oh my god, so there are 3 Catalinas in a row on the top 8 graphic. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Alright.
So winners finals. This is a 3 out of 5 set.
Luke off to a very strong start. I really like how much Luke is willing to just burn resources with Siegfried to just try and push opponents to the corner.
Yeah, I mean, Siegfried doesn't have a lot of bad moves. Like, no matter which special you spend, as long as you have one of the other ones up, they can sort of kill time to get that timer back.
Oh wow, what a flip! That was so sick! Nice, confirmed. Dang, nice stance by them. Dang, Makona is on a
big
tear.
damage. This is going to be close to dead. I don't think it's enough.
Makona's confirms here are very well played.
Yeah, gonna need probably a tap to get to chip.
Oh, wow.
Nice dodge. Yeah, gonna just get the punish. Again, if you want to risk a reversal, that was a safe jump off the super, so you kind of had to hold the block no matter what. But if you're going to risk a reversal in this game, you usually want to go with ult DP if you have one because of the slowdown. Makes it much tighter to actually do safe jumps and safe jabs against it.
Alright, nice though versus the BC. Alright, great though once again. Oh wow, what a confirm by Luke. That was really sick. Dang, nice check on the forward flip. Dang, once again baiting the BC.
I think these are not raging strikes. I'm pretty sure Luke is trying to like anticipate with a guard cancel, and Makona's just having a good timing to delay just enough to get that out. Oh, big counter hit though. Yep.
That was so sick.
Battle 3. Engage.
Oh wow, nice though by Makona.
Another one, yeah. Ooh, yeah, and that's
Oh, wow.
still one of the things that's so
Nice.
strong, right? You have, granted, Sig does have the best dash in the game, so he can deal with stance in that way. But stance in general can be so disruptive when you're used to using 6XL in neutral against everyone else.
She really forces you to play like around certain options differently.
Oh, big bait.
Alright, nice bait.
Yeah, just dump the R. This is what I was talking about. In this situation, this is optimal. Just 5H RSRC and do it 3 times, and then do 5H auto combo, like the 2-hit auto combo, not all 3, into a special. I guarantee you, on almost every character, that's going to be your optimal like mid-screen punish
Who
combo
won that
with
game?
resources.
Sorry, I was fixing up the top 8 graphic.
1-0 Makona.
What I look at that.
Go check with the 2M. I do think 2M actually is a button that Makona is way more proficient at using than a lot of the other Yule players that I see. Finds a lot of good spots to fit it in. This, yeah.
Nice.
I
There
like
you
seeing
go.
this ult. So
That was
you
sick.
can take that safe jump, but what I actually really like there is from the spot that he lands, just immediately do a medium fireball, and they
Yeah.
have to hold it. They
That
have
setup
no
is really,
choice.
really
They
good.
can't jump it.
Nice EX Fireball. Great BC by Makona. Oh!
Oh, I think that was a punishable spacing, actually. That guard cancel cost them the punish.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was not the heavy version. The 214M, if it's too close, can still be punishable on block.
Yeah, it's -7, point blank.
No way he throws again.
I think Luke is definitely playing well, but I can tell that against Yule, it's easy to feel flustered against the character if you don't have a lot of
Yeah.
experience fighting against her. She's like very much like a what is going on kind of character, so it's tricky.
Well, and like I said, you have to accept this right here, right? Like, look at the pushback on block. You have to accept that you're going to spend a ton of time fighting out of the corner against this character, even when you're doing fine, when you're not getting hit just on block.
Who does
Yeah,
it?
you gotta DP that. If you're a character with a DP or you have 50 meter, that setup has to be reversal. There's not really a different way around it. Looking for something there. Maybe that might have been a preemptive guard cancel call out. Would like to see, yeah, Luke just has to be careful not to go too hard trying to guard cancel here. That last VP is very valuable. Just wait, try to tech a throw. Caught with the low though, that's gonna do it
that was
actually. Yeah. GG, shake my tail. Makona moving on to winners finals.
GG. That was
Wait,
2,
wait, wait,
right?
that's a 2. This is 2. This
Yeah,
is winners
two, yeah,
finals. My
two.
bad. Yeah, my bad. First to 3. Luke's still in it.
Yeah, it's definitely tough.
Shake my tail, Callisto, bro. Are you a furry hater, Awful? Don't make me. Don't
In 2024,
make me
Awful?
leak the DMs again, Awful. Or should I? What should I call you? Glossy?
Wow, I've literally never seen Siegfried jump H miss. That was weird.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That
yo.
is
It's really, really good.
that is what in the industry we would call a button. I don't see it not work very often.
Yeah, it's like Belly Oz. It's super esports.
But it also low crushes,
look at the
which is
2H,
weird,
but an
which is
empty
like
jump.
awkward.
Oh, nice pressure by Lou. Just trying his best to just press this corner advantage that he currently has.
Makona's slowing things down a little bit defensively. Yeah, finally just blocking it out after getting bled out of a bit of health there. Man, you know what? I will say, of all the things she did get that's better, the fact that she can't get a combo off a counter hit 2L is actually a little bit nice, at least.
Oh, wow.
No reaction, gonna get the combo here, but that was misspaced on the 6XM. Maybe tried to do a dash M or something. Baited out the DP though. Plenty of damage available here. Yeah, didn't even need to get to the real meat of the combo there. Yeah, only one BP was available too, so that was definitely going to be an exploder combo. 5L? We got Street Fighter 5 anti-airs? Is that what the SFL's from? That's the Luke you're playing?
Let's go.
Do we need to start the You Play Luke chance?
Nice. That confirm is really strong.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided that move needed to become plus and force crouching.
Gosh,
on
easy,
top-
yo, that's my goat. That move is OD now. Oh wow, nice though.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things I do like about the game, but whoever made the decision that should be plus on block and force crouching, and also whoever thought that 6 should get the heavy Rekka combo mid-screen, those people need to be moved to like the art department or something, and not the combat design one.
What were they cooking?
That's what happened to Daisuke. Bro got moved to the art department.
Yeah, no, they need to give them Daisuke's guitar or something. Let them work on the soundtrack or something. They need to be away from the moves.
Mm-hmm. So
Good stuff to Makona, though. Makona in prime position to get the first win on the board. Keep in mind, you do need to win twice to graduate.
Yeah, that is our rules as a beginner bracket is if you win twice, you graduate. When you graduate, you get a place in the Hall of Fame in our server. You get a little graduation cap next to your name. You can't enter anymore, and I commission art of your character in your color with your player tag on it. So... you get a lot from winning, but...
And also, I come up and Ghost of Marvel T-pose at you.
Did they genuinely remove T-posing anteater?
That was never in the actual game. That's only in
okay.
the mobile game. They did remove some stickers that I hope they like flesh out a little bit more. In one of my beta surveys, I actually put like, please add these stickers, and I put the actual number of them from the game, like
not
the ID
the
number.
at the receipts.
Which they removed, do you know?
They removed reporting in. The captain is gone.
So you buy...
I believe Never Surrender is gone as well.
Yeah, they took away Never Surrender, which is crazy. So if you had one win in vanilla, so like I think the only 3 people with 1 win are Yabai, Maddie, and Funk. If you had 1 win in vanilla, you only have to win 1 more in Rising.
More importantly, I think what I'm really upset about is they took away the 30 win streak flaming buff burn that would pop up when you would sit down at the lobby cabinet if you had a streak of 30 or higher. That's what I need back.
So true.
Especially seeing how we were talking about how the emotes in the lobby are so cleanly animated now. I need that 4K buff burn. Nice punish there with the 5M.
Yeah, wow.
Anti-air too. Ooh, yeah, and good routing with the Raging Strike. I think that, it's expensive, so it should do a lot of damage, but especially when the rest of the combo before it was just too
nice punish.
Raging Strike does mad damage.
Mm-hmm.
Good caging here, yeah. DP, though, last chance in this round for Omniscypher. Guard cancel creating nearly a checkmate situation. Guard cancel doing damage on hit is definitely a subject that's up for debate at the moment because of the checkmate situations with Chip. Whoa, you're calling something?
Nice,
I don't think so.
Yeah, that was very good.
Lumi had the nothing personal there, just kind of appeared. A little bit of stare down, both players teching out safely. Oh, good roll through the 6XL. Caught Omni. I actually think that was Omni's turn, and Omni just sort of was off guard.
Yo, Ryer,
Thank you to Ryer for the
fun.
massive sub drop off. That was OD, yo. Thank you.
Oh, good spacing on these 6XLs. That's what I was talking about. Those ones that hit late,
Destin,
and they're, like,
I forgot
extra
you
plus.
won one. Yeah, Destin, you got one too. You only have to win 1 more. I'm sorry, Destin. I forgot you won.
No, Destin plays near. He should have to win like 8.
I saw him on CAG the other day. He was back on the CAG Leostro.
Okay. We'll keep it at 1 if it's the CAX. If it's the near, no, you got to win somewhere between 3 and 72
Are we switching
tournaments.
to Anila?
To get 72. Yeah, I think that Omni was playing really well in that set, but I can tell that just the mid-range spacings that Vera wants to control, he wasn't really sure how he wants to contest them with his character, but I can see why, not only because Zoe's a relatively newer character for him, but he also didn't really play against Vera that much.
Yeah, it doesn't
wasn't
look
really
like Zoe
playing
is
during
staying
vanilla.
here, though, so may have just come back to think for a moment. The Zoe is locked in still. Keep in mind, this is loser semis. This is our last first 2 into the night, so currently this is match game for Koga. So Omniscythe does have to make it work with Zoe. Oh yeah, Neokar. So when you graduate, you can't enter anymore. So if you win 2 of these tournaments, you're no longer eligible.
But you get art.
Yes, you do get a reward for it.
Believe in victory.
And then you get put out into the cold, cruel world of neutral.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Good
A
block
nice
in the
block on the
overhead.
auto combo.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing last game too. Is honestly Koga was just making clutch blocks and punishes. You know, had good awareness of when something was overstepped. That right there, right? That counter hit confirmed. That counter hit 6XL. It doesn't normally combo to 5L or 5M there, but on counter hit it does. So good recognition, good confirms right now. Koga's just sort of doing everything right. Oh, that's
wow,
no, this is going to be an
nice.
opportunity.
Not gonna
yeah,
lie,
that's
I
a
always
tough
think
link.
it's funny when people who play their who play default like really want to graduate. I know it's just because they want to like, you know, have that win. They want to show their like their stuff. But I'm always like, bro, you can find art of your color everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, just they graduate and you just give them a link in their DMs to the Hungry Clicker account. Like, yeah, you'll find it.
Yo, nurse. Oh wow! Nice
Wow,
interruption.
yeah. You don't see Heavy Scarlet Oath interrupted by a lot of things, but when you do, it usually is like a 9-frame normal, and effectively 6XL, if you do it instantly, it is a 9-frame normal. It's 8 frames startup for the move and 1 frame a minimum dash. With the new dash button, I don't use it a ton because I prefer to play on 6 buttons, but if you just do a plink, like, you know, the old technique of just tapping one button and then the next button up just as soon as you can afterwards, so they're separate presses, 1 frame right after the other, you can do instant dash attacks by doing dash attack into forward plus normal like that. You don't have to like actually manually run into it. And I think that can be a really strong strategy in kind of close spaces to get that 6XL. But Koga hanging on here, gonna move on to the loser's final.
That was very well played by Omni. Once again, we thank everyone else for entering into this bracket. Not only is it a really exciting bracket because there's so many entrants, it's always nice to see people just try their best and put themselves out there because, you know, it's always really hard to do, to just go, okay, I think that I just want to give this competition a go and not just see where I can get as a player, but just make new friends, see the experiences I'm able to have and learn from.
Make new rivals, which is equally important. I think you need friends, and you also need that person you freaking hate that you want to beat, and that's your driving force. Like, I'm not kidding about that. You gotta have someone who, you know, your goal in life is to cook them, and that will drive you. I could say that in the Midwest, right? There was a long time where the Midwest wasn't as strong as other regions, and part of that was like, you go to New York and they're like, man, I fucking hate that guy, and they're always trying to kill. We're just going to each other's baby showers and crap. That's why we were bad. We were too good of friends.
We're bad 'cause
we were
we're
just skewed
friends.
too far to the friendship side. You gotta have a balance. All
I
things
don't go to
equilibrium.
my rival's baby shower. That's fucked up.
I would boo the baby.
Oh, wow.
That's your
Baby
first
not
chance
baby.
to indoctrinate the baby into the rivalry.
I would immediately. I'd be back there like, your baby's whack. Mine's nice. Wow, big damage. So this is definitely, when you're thinking about routing in this game, a lot of the damage just got shifted from heavy specials to bravery points and meter. And that's why a character like Basaraga or Percy, who were big damage characters, can feel like they don't do a lot because their damage was very much centered around heavy specials. When you do a super at the end of a long combo, they scale very well now. Like, if you learn your max routing, how you can squeeze every last hit in before the super, it's a very rewarding ender. Tried to sneak in the 5U, good reaction there. I would say in general, Luke definitely has shown some really nice reactions, very quick responses to a lot of things, baits out the super, but that's a tough one to punish.
Yeah.
They actually reduced the recovery as well by 3 or 4 frames.
Yeah, it's actually wild.
Yeah, it's like -9 on block now. And things on whiff, it'll sound weird, but blocking moves, it's usually easier to punish a move that's like -9 on block than it is to punish it on whiff when it's like -30. Because the hit stop, you don't know it's there, and mathematically it's sort of not by the frames, but the screen does just sort of pause for a moment when you block. And it gives you just a little bit more time to react to what's going on.
Most definitely. Oh, wow. Unfortunate throw with, but Luke is actually in a really strong position. Been showing a way more aggressive approach that's been paying off a lot.
That almost could have done it. I actually think that 6XL... Did that hit behind? Wow! That is an esports DP. Great anti-air. Good reaction there by Luke. Clutch anti-air.
Clutch. I literally didn't even know that hit behind him. That's actually clutch.
I did, but honestly, heavy DPs are slow in this game. They're like 10
Yeah,
startup, right? Like that's actually a difficult anti-air to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as late as it was reacted really late. Nice, another good whip punish. Yeah, Luke really showing off with the reactions here.
Mm-hmm. Is it Luke like 17?
Yeah, I believe Luke is like 16, 17.
Okay, we can't compare ourselves to him.
Yeah, the Maddie reactions.
The Maddie reactions, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 26, yo. I'm nearly on my way out.
I'm 40. I promise you, if you thought I reacted to something, I didn't. I just pushed that button 6 seconds ago.
It's like when you're a beginner and like someone's like, I can't believe you blocked that. It's like, well, I blocked it because I didn't know there was a mix-up there.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. They try like some weird, like the thing where they, Vera actually do that, where she like air dashes in front then comes back behind into the falling attack, and I'm like, whatever, I didn't react to the first time you went behind me.
Oh
yeah,
wow,
that's why I don't get caught by the Grand Blue handshake, because I wasn't reacting to tech to throw anyway.
I wasn't teching to throw anyway. Yeah, that is the Dovingly. I am on mic right now. I was pretty quiet at the beginning of the tournament. There was a lot going on, but we back.
It's Mr. Dove himself, my goat.
If the winner is fine, if the grand is Makona versus Koga, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah,
nothing changes.
Yeah, I do want to.
It's hurting though.
Yeah, I do want to reiterate more for Koga. You know, when watching back the replay, this 2-2U special, the thing with all the follow-ups, it's basically a Rekka. It doesn't look like one, but it sort of is. That Sid keeps doing this move right here. So if you just push 2M right there, if you're Vera or another character with a 6 or 7 frame 2M, if you push 2M right there, it beats every follow-up option he has other than the parry, and it also punishes him for doing no follow-up. So always level 1 to that until they show that they're going to parry. That's really, really important low-level counterplay to this character.
Yeah, it's really, really important.
Koga with the corner positioning. Nice. Good positioning there. Got the whip punish on the 6XL. And that's what I was talking about, right? You can see Koga backing up a little bit. What we would call the Grand Blue zone in Vanilla Grand Blue was basically when you have the corner and you would stand directly under the timer.
Garkins like, immediately put a Bloomy? He's crazy.
Yeah, how both these players hold the Grand Blue zone is just very, very well. It's just a really key part of this game because I think that corner damage in the game is really high, so you want to make sure that you can like safely try to get those hits because your opponent can also bust out too, right? And that's where you don't want.
I do think though what qualifies as the Grand Blue zone in this game is not the same positioning. I think the concept is the same, but you do need to step back like about a full character width. And I mentioned earlier, but you can see that split in between the 2 bars of the meter that breaks it up into the 2 segments. You want to stand right under there, and that is outside of 6XL range. You can still whiff punish things. If you play, you know, a stubbier character, you know, you're going to want to be a little bit closer than that. Someone like 6 or Lance or whatever. But for someone like Vera, who has the pumpkin spice normal, it's like you want to be back on range.
Our glorious Farim. They're barbaric.
Yeah, no, 5M, Vera 5M is definitely talking to your manager. You're not getting out of that one. Luke, though, I think is hanging in here really well. Just very consistent on some of the punishes. That's actually one of the first 5 U's that's even gotten off against him. Yeah, good guard cancel of the situation too, recognizing like, hey, I don't actually have to hold this.
Wow, that was unexpected.
Our blessed M install DP.
Oh, big 2H. Oh, the 2 didn't dial it out. That would have been the sickest.
No, yeah.
What a bait.
Wow, that was still a punish, actually. I was surprised. It looked like with the speed that he landed, he seems to have a bit more recovery on the ground.
Dang, yeah, this is guaranteed.
Koga was like, if one of us doesn't have BP,
if this gets
neither of us are
this might
gonna
die.
have BP.
Okay. just off screen, but the Dracane. Hot Luke trying to move.
Battle 2. Engage.
NCX Fireball there?
Good timing on the
Great
dodge.
time.
That's actually a really difficult fireball to dodge. A lot of times, honestly, the answer is just walk up and block it closer. The earlier you block it, the less frames Siegfried has to work with. And also means that you're closer, and if he tries to follow it with a 6-6M, it might be in a punishable range. I'm going to emphasize the might be on that one, because that button's still...
It's never clear.
Good patience here by Koga. Oh, big whiff punish, though. Yeah, Luke's spacing is pretty on point. I think that's the beauty of this game, right? Like, if you just space things well and make good decisions, you don't have to know, like, a bunch of wacky tech. You don't have to have optimal combos. You just make a few more good decisions than bad ones and space them properly. Don't do anything mega punishable for no reason.
Oh, wow, what a confirm. Dang, nice punish by Luke.
Yes.
Great matchup knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, knows the punish.
Yeah, good choice of starter as well too. Knowing that maybe you're not going to get the combo into another starter. RS.
Yeah, that's
RC.
the thing about that MDP. You really have to like punish it with dodge, and it's variable based on like the timing. Which
I think that they also actually made it recover a tiny bit faster on the second hit. I want to say that it's not by much. It's like by like a frame, but there's sometimes where I'm definitely not getting like a 6-frame punish. Whoa.
Koga's kind of going crazy with these old Scarlet Oaths. But bro, what are you doing?
And nice CP out by Koga.
Yeah. This is actually not a bad situation for Luke. Has the life lead. Koga's definitely scrambling a little bit, and the meter advantage is there. Like, any touch into super is going to explode Koga right now. There's the Raging Strike. I was about to say there was one DP left on either side. Is Koga going to risk the Raging Strike? Because right now they have been working out. For all the things that Luke is reacting really well to, they're not dodging the Raging Strikes. And good recognition by Koga that there was only one BP, which means it was a guaranteed combo into Raging Chain if they didn't dodge it. And you do sometimes, like, make them prove that they can dodge it, right? It doesn't have to be when the game's on the line, but also, if you hit it a couple times, that can open up more offense for you in other ways, because then they start worrying about it and they start mashing dodge and block strings. And then sometimes just doing like 2M into nothing and then killing them because they dodged works really well. Should get the super
nice
here.
confirm by Koga.
Yeah. I like that. Didn't risk the Raging Strike. Combo limit was definitely coming up. And even though it didn't kill, this is kind of a checkmate situation.
Oh, that setup is so sick. Yeah, that was really well done.
Yeah, just fishing for Chip. There's the Scarlet Oath. Yeah, 14 frame startup. Knew that was going to be a problem as soon as the Chip territory or the Chip range was reached of health.
Oh wow, nice 5M check versus the run up. Dang,
Nice
great
switch.
anti-air. Koga's
Yeah.
making some really strong reads.
Oh, didn't believe in the wall bounce though. Just taking the Lumi. Guard cancels out. Good. I like Koga using the guard cancel there just to stall the momentum. Wasn't really in like massive risk there or anything. Wasn't going to be a nasty mix coming, but it was just he had just lost momentum, and stalling that I think can swing around really well. Is he going to go for the unblockable setup again?
Yeah,
No,
that's
he's on the
smart.
super.
Get that BP back.
And now the same situation's there for Koga. A Raging Strike right now would probably seal it. But it's like, do you want to risk their ability to, do you want to really find out, do they have that? Can they dodge it on reaction? Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's pretty
extra
scary.
damage taken because all the BP was spent there. 50% more damage. That heavy DP did a chunk.
Alright, nice. Rekka cancel frame trap.
Koga, I think, is doing a really good job of sort of just sniffing out when Luke wants to go in harder for pressure and taking some sort of risk to shut it down.
Dang, that was sick.
Yeah, I think you gotta be ready to dodge or DP that, especially when they already just spent heavy fireball. It's kind of obvious what's coming next at that range, so you gotta be ready to bust out of that.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of, yeah, using the medium DP, but look at that timer now. even if you did a technical input, that timer's not going to be up immediately. Solid 4 seconds, it looks like, maybe 5.
A great MDP.
Yeah, I mean, if it's working, keep doing it. Yeah, trying to check after that auto combo overhead. That's actually a weird situation. It's only +1 on hit. It's actually important for you, Rose, because it's +1 on hit. You can just mash 5L if you get hit by it, because you'll clash with them pressing 5L.
Oh wow!
Big bait. That's gonna close it. Yeah, one button in the Super Skybound. No BP available. That is hella dead. Kuga gonna be moving on to the loser side of Grand Finals.
Dang. Very well played by Luke. That was a really close set. I can tell that the very specific interactions in terms of just knowing how to punish certain areas of her in the matchup are a big thing that I can tell that Luke was struggling with a little bit. But I think that
the most important stuff,
his decisions were really good.
Yeah, I think the most important stuff, like the medium DP punish against install, like definitely, you know, there's a non-zero amount of matchup knowledge definitely going around here. But counterplay to the ults is going to be part of it. And I think Luke was doing really well, kind of having the corner, looking for whiff punishes and whatnot, and just kind of got roped into a faster paced game with Koga and made a couple of overextensions. And Koga, for his part, was just playing really well, getting a lot of punishes where they needed them.
Alright, I think we're gonna wait till the ads finish, right, to start the grand stuff, or... Yeah, I figured.
Alright. It's ending right now on my side, at least. No, never mind. Another one started. Yeah.
Like people
at least it
complained when
does give
was-
you like the little mini viewer now. Like you can at least see it, but yeah, that's
like people
definitely...
complained when it was every 30 minutes, and now they complain because they just don't like ads. But
Yeah.
I make a lot of money from them, so I gotta do it.
Yeah, these tournaments, the amount of time that's given up to run stuff like this, like you gotta get something for sure. It's so I as someone who tapped out from running net play tournaments myself because it was an absurd amount of work, and I was only doing it for like a game or two. Yeah, Dove holding it down.
Oh wow, great whip punish by Koga.
Titles in the genre right now.
Dang.
Oh, medium Dracane, the punishable one. Makona actually didn't get the punish, but just ran up and took the grab. I'm actually seeing kind of a lot of these. I don't know if it is Koga expecting the opponent to back tech and then they're quick teching, but a lot of kind of misspaced medium loomies coming out. Good block. Yeah.
Nice. This is checkmate. Yeah.
Oh, that's hella dead. Yeah, not even checkmate. That's just actually dead. No BP available. Good recognition. And this game, you know, I do think some of the things, it has some very, very obvious design inspiration from Street Fighter 6. And some of that is being that, you know, they made a version of the game that everyone kind of hated, and they had 5 months to make a totally different game. And I think they did do a very good job, actually, at doing that. And they looked around at different things. They took some inspiration from Street Fighter 6 for sure. And some of that being that you always have to have the guard break on the back of your mind. You can never turn that off. It's so important to just remember that it exists at all times. Not just because getting hit by it can be ruinous for a round, but also dodging it's very rewarding. Very similar to Overdrive in the previous game, I think. Oh, that clashed at first. That was it.
Oh wow, nice 2M versus the backflip. That was really sick.
Yeah, Koga looking pretty good here. Grabbed out of the preemptive, looking for the guard cancel. Yeah, Makona's probably going to keep these going. Are we going to see another Raging Strike here? She can Raging Strike and stance as well. And no guard cancel from Koga. I'm not sure if Koga didn't believe that that Makona would spend, or if they just were late on it. It is possible. They did make it easier to guard cancel out. You can input it later, but it is still possible to miss. I've done it before for sure.
Yeah, big time. I can tell that the one of the large things that's giving Koga a bit of trouble is the break counter usage. It's a really strong mechanic, but it's very helpful to try to be careful with how you conserve your BP in this game.
Yeah,
especially against a character like Yule, I think there's like moments where you have to like wait her out and look for the right spots to challenge because her overall damage isn't low. Her overall damage is low, so like you want to like generally pick your spots really well against her.
I think too that if you're really like zoned in, especially if it's spaced out a little bit, I think her stance M is actually something you can DP on reaction. And I think if you have a natural DP like Shoto's, like Vera, Percival, and whatnot, I think that you should be looking at that as your opportunity to get out and just focus on reaction teching throws. Take the late tech if you got it, it's fine, and just try to bust out there in that stance.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see there. Yule does like slightly more damage than she did, but compared to, it's not like Six or Lance. Like those characters had their damage like doubled, right? Like,
yeah, Lance.
Those were very big. Yeah,
like,
she's Yule's doing like 10% more, 15% more, and her ults have a lot of utility, so she might not have super available all the time to like really get the cash out. But Makona already up 2 here, looking very strong.
Yeah. That's actually the funny thing about this game in hindsight. Like, some of these interactions are so different. Like, I used to play Lance, and that character was barely doing 4K in vanilla. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, you have to rethink your strategy, right? Because you used to have to think of, like, okay, what's the sequence of mix-ups that I'm going to do because I'm not going to close it out here. Now you have to actually think, can I close it out with this with an optimal route in this situation?
Wow,
Makona once again grab on the plus frames. Really
Yeah.
good job waiting out the throw protection as well off the plus frames.
Damn, that's really smart.
Just parries super. At least the install still happens.
It's smart too because like that install is really hard to punish if you dodge, so it was really good to just let the stance rock.
Into the dodge. If you're Koga, I think you have to play for the 214H here and run to try to chase it down. Oh, grab. Yeah, that side switch was rough. I think Koga went in a little too hard there. Got themselves placed in the corner, and that ended up being the round. And Makona is on tournament point.
Yeah, Koga's showing some very strong signs of life, but it's really difficult to play against Yule at this spacing. Alright, nice confirmed by Koga.
Yeah, hard knockdown because of the counter hit there. It's not like enough to safe jump off of, but at least you can like time a meaty. You can also do a bunch of characters can actually juggle into auto combo with the 6H ender, and that'll be a hard knockdown in combos as well. Good defense from Koga. Yeah, I mean, at this point, take the throw. You still have the lead, right? Oh, baited and punished, and yeah, Makona's going to take it here. If this combo is completed, Makona is the champion tonight, and that is the case. Congratulations.
Extremely well played set by both players. That was really fun.
Goat Kona?
Makona, that is actually OD.
My go? Wait, look. I feel like bro did not drop a game. Okay, he dropped a game to Omni Scythe. And then for the rest of the tournament did not drop a game. Damn. Okay, well good job, Makona. Let me see. I think the this O2 bracket is still going on. Let me see. Yeah, they are still doing the O2 bracket. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you, Callisto and Rose. You are always some of the best commentators I could have.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. And remember, we have these every 2 weeks. So not next week. Next week it'll be Guilty Gear's Drive. But the Tuesday after, we'll have another Grand Blue Rising tournament for beginner and intermediate players. Also, remember that if you win, you have to win 2 to graduate. So we will see Makona next time. I guess he'll probably enter next time. But let me give him his little medal. Current protagonist. There you go, Makona. And if you want to join our Discord, it is I just put the link in the chat. We host a ton of different games, and we are, let me ask Makona who he wants us to raid. And we host a ton of different games, all for beginner and intermediate players. So if there's a new game you want to get in on, we might host it. We host, let me look at the list. We host Guilty Gear Plus R, Guilty Gear Exard, Guilty Gear Strive, all the Guilty Gears. Grand Blue, KOF, King of Fighters 15, Blaze Blue Central Fiction, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Persona 4 Arena, Skullgirls, Uni, and Under Night. We're going to start running Under Night 2 at the end of the month. Oh, we're going to we're going to raid Taiga. Okay.
Yo, the
goat. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. I hope you all have a great night, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care, gang.